WIFTBPM.
Maze Jackson.
If you could make up a social media holiday, what would it be?
Randy said National Don't Let No One Put You Down Day.
No one. What you gonna do? So when they say something crazy, you slap them?
Be like May said. Randy said a Jukathon Day.
Man, we about 60 years old. I be done had a heart
You
attack.
gotta get your heart rate up.
Okay, not that far.
All right, Mario said my favorite one. My friends and I do what we call National Call Off from Work Day.
As a business owner, I don't.
You don't like that, yeah.
I don't like that.
Because I'm the boss of this family.
We got Marcus Garvey Day from Remy too.
Oh, Marcus Garvey Day. All right, what will we do on Marcus Garvey Day?
Call off from work.
I'm going to need you to go ahead and come in tomorrow. That would be great. Okay?
Yeah, right.
Every black holiday has something to do with calling off from work.
You're cool. I'm out.
How about National Join a Positive Black Organization Day? Because I don't want to be recruited. I don't want to be recruited and the brothers be like, thank you. Thank you. How about National Tell White People the Truth Day? Tell them how you really feel.
You can't handle the truth.
Why don't we call that National Black People Get Locked Up Day?
I'm going to tell them there's an African-American man threatening my life.
Hello.
The most dangerous show in the morning.
My name is Chris Levy, and I'm working hard to become your next 5th Ward Alderman. As a lifelong Chicagoan, I chose the historic 5th Ward as my home and a place to raise my family. This means I have a vested interest in our safety and prosperity. But we need a change, and I'm the best candidate for the job. I'm not a career politician, but a motivated citizen who cares and will do whatever it takes to restore our community to greatness. My name is Chris Levy, and I want to drive change. Please punch 60 and vote for me for 5th Ward Alderman. My name is Chris Levy, and I approve this message.
Hey, Chicagoland, all roads lead to Solo Beauty Supply, the largest black-owned beauty supply in Chicago. We carry a large selection of natural hair care products, plus much more. So come see us at one of our two locations, located at 9011 South Ashland or 8158 South Cottage Grove. Our inventory is growing, and with your support, Solo Beauty will continue to be a source of pride in our community.
I love being black. Do you love being black? Yeah, I love being black. Hey. I do this for my people all across the globe. Hey, it's break. The skin I'm in fit me fine, tailor-made, yeah, I'm comfortable. And so it seems I'm still chasing my dreams. They told me, watch my steps, they want to pull the rug from under you. This is transparency, my life 3D. Live every word that I utter, reporting live from the gutter. Where the mind's hard to change, but we don't give up on our brothers and sisters. Cause we all need one another. The time's getting closer, revolution, feel it coming. I can smell it in the air. Inhale it, let it embody you. Because chances are the cops pull you over, they body you. Plus we don't trust each other, so there's just another obstacle. Why jump hurdles to make a change, it ain't optional. Olympian mindset in this booth with my binoculars. I see my vision getting clear, yes, that's what a prophet do. My music touch the people's soul, black power gospel tunes. So many styles, watch me kick them like they soccer moves. Falling rank and file, this is my platoon. Soldiers at attention, ain't no Willie lynching. This the program, who they think they kidding? Reinvent the system, total reconstruction of our mental stigma. This ain't a game, boy. Still they think I'm talking about Nintendo's, that's a shame, boy. Augment reality, better fix your brain, boy. I love my people, hope they love me black. I'm going hard and ain't no holding back. Watch me react, I put my fist up in the skies like a beacon for believers that one day we return to our greatness. If we seek it all the glory, we can obtain it, keep reaching. I'm painting this picture, I hope you see it. Guess what the theme is? I love being black. We turning up, I love being black. Say it loud, man, I love being black. One more time, I love being black. Hey. Well, how about you done seen these tunes too? Customize for you a little something you can groove to. Feeling good about yourself, melanated, move muse. Always of our databases. Gotta fix the trinity to make it past the matrix. There's a rabbit in the hole. Your decision, you gon' chase it or just shut up for complacency. Here's your motivation. Black power in your veins. Up to us to build a nation. European mental detox completely we erase it. Yeah, you can't keep writing over old information. Probably bring it right back if you love being black. I love being black. We turning up. I love being black. Say it loud. Man, I love being black. One more time. I love being black. Hey, hey, hey. I do this for my people all across the map. Even for the ones who don't identify with being black. Hebrews the best elixir. Go ahead and try your batch. It's true serum, I let loose spirits. The ancestors speak through me. I spit the truth. Hear it. Broken souls here to re-engineer them so that they fearless. This precious atmospheric as the hell is spinning. Trying to strategize a way so we can start winning. It begins with pride of yourself. Embracing this feeling. Say no new friends. That's what happened to the village. Too much individualism. It's easier to pillage. I'm just making this appearance for coherence so you can understand what we up against. Hit the reset button, switch covenants. It's my contract to the people that I'm publishing. It's a new era, hood to hood, feel the power and I'm loving it. Turn up, neck turn up, strapped with the black burner. Murder, murder, keep sleeping and I'll shoot up your server. Corrupt the service at the 5, man, it's time to purge them. We waking up and that's what got them nervous. I love being black, we turning up. I love being black, say it loud. Man, I love being black. One more time, I love being black. Hey, hey, hey.
This might be a small thing, kind of revolving around a situation that don't happen often. I mean, it's involving something that's scalding. Hot the topic is, it needs some resolving. It's kind of puzzling, took time solving. But after I thought about it, sent her to Walgreens to pick up a few things to stop me from stalling. Otherwise, I'ma be blunt and she gon' be bawling. And I don't need that, or her brother calling. Talking them fight words, now we gon' be brawling. I'm more of a stand-up, I don't be falling. For that okie doke, it's better dissolving. Call me a nice guy, yeah, I like nice things. It's best to stay away from chicks that's trifling. I'm not a rival, so I don't be rivaling. But end up in this scene, I won't be wifing, you know?
Avoid a quick fail, take heed to this wise tale.
If you feel me like Brill, take heed to this wise tale.
Whether male or female, take heed to this wise tale.
Outside or in jail, take heed to this wise tale.
She got a secret, don't know where she keep it, don't know why she hide it, guess it's convenient. She like a zebra, two things at one time. It ain't black and white when you lived it a lifetime. She got a story, might be a fable, no categories. She don't like labels, she like a loner. Maybe she's selfish, something is fishy, but she don't like shellfish. She say that her phone broke and she need a new phone. She got a night job, now she got 2 phones, one for the pubic, one for the public. I Freudian slip, y'all, I think that you dug it. She got a curfew, she live in the group home, but she in Miami, getting her Luke on. She can't be truthful, not what she built for. Mouth might be useful, but nothing to kill for, you know?
Avoid a quick fail, take heed to this wise tale.
If you feel me like Braille, take heed to this wise tale.
Whether male or female, take heed to this wise tale.
Outside or in jail, take heed to this wise tale.
WIFTBPM.
Uh-oh, what's in it for the black people?
For Ruthie Moore, for Ty Stroger, I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them Maze said, Mayor Lightfoot, man, we ain't accepting that. We ain't accepting that. Let's go. Yeah.
Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case, he was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you could put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gon' sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to send it. We need some different players in the game to handle business. Too many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA get spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steal on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Let us give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And I'm concealed carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this is a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks.
Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world. This is the Mace Jackson Show. I'm your host, Mace Jackson, live in the building. We are broadcasting live from Obsidian Riis, because it's day 2 of the Last Chance Candidate Debates. That's right, the Last Chance Candidate Debates. It's the second day. Last chance for the candidates to get the word out, to let people know what they are thinking, what are they doing, a little bit about yourself, the whole you dig. So yesterday, man, I'm gonna tell you, man, what the young people call it? They call it like a vibe. I felt like we had a little vibe going yesterday.
It was so nice to each other.
They was like, somebody was, I ain't gonna even say somebody, Tracy Payne, was trying to get it mixed up. She was trying to get a little, if you're going to sit back there, you might as well sit in the camera so we can look like we got a studio audience or something. You know what I'm saying? Look. So, hey, y'all, it is the Mace Jackson Show. Hey, Joe, we look kind of fresh, though. You know what I'm saying? It's like.
Yeah, I like it.
It's like we doing our thing in the building. You know what I'm saying? So, if y'all are, you know, you're going to have your, I think Ron said he was coming down today. I think we got some other people coming on by. So, y'all come on by Obsidian. Well, let me be clear.
Don't do it.
Hold on. So wait a minute. Wait. No. Hold on.
He just started.
So that's my point. So let's establish some ground rules. Right? Like, Riis, I recognize that I operate in the public sphere. And that means that oftentimes in the public sphere, I am but you're not gonna disrespect Riis. I'm sorry yesterday. So for those of y'all that tuned in yesterday and maybe got a video shared or something to yourself, let me help y'all understand that there are brothers that have gone above and beyond to personally attack the family. Now, it's one thing to do it in a public space, but you can't come in my house and do it. And so that's all. I'm sorry if y'all felt like I lost my composure or anything like that, because I was in the middle of, I was flowing yesterday. Riis.
It was like a shock, though, like, you know, especially when it's like that and like the way that it came through. You know, just imagine you like
this is
you
what
and
happened
the
to John F.
individual
Kennedy.
ain't too, cool with each other, and next thing you know, you sitting there, you're unaware, and then you're like, hey, whoa.
Behind my back,
right,
and
you
it's
know
like,
what I'm saying? It's like, hey, whoa, and then it was like the show was like going on. It was like clearly ropes, you know what I'm saying?
Right, it's like I'm about to.
And nobody else is past them ropes except the people that's actually part of the show.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
and it's funny because people's asking why they got ropes up. Well, because we have actually it's like actual studio equipment and stuff and cords and people. Everybody, you know how you say everybody think they can avoid the fall of the trip, and then it be my bad. Then all the cameras done fell down. So anyway, yesterday, if you were caught up to our private interruption, I apologize for that, but I'm sorry, you're not going to disrespect my family and then come to my joint and be like, oh, was it me? So, all right, y'all, it's the Mace Jackson Show. I'm your host, Mace Jackson. Got my man DJ Riis, the ruler, in the building on the ones and twos. On a Tuesday, Riis, can we still be blowing up? We brought the bombs with us. Hold on, let me just make sure I'm right. Are we blowing up? Oh, damn. We got the bombs with us. Look, I see the sergeant done came in the building. We got the sergeant in the back. General, she ready. She got her military clock on. We are getting ready for the last chance debates. Look, y'all, this is the Mace Jackson Show. I'm your host, Mace Jackson. Got my man, DJ Riis the Ruler, on the ones and twos. DJ Riis the Ruler, how you feeling today, brother?
Blessed by the best, and I definitely got some rest yesterday.
You got you some rest?
About good, 12 hours, I ain't gonna lie. I went to, like you ever said, I'm going to take a nap.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, I woke up, it was 3 a.m., so it wasn't no point.
It wasn't no need to get up.
No need, I'm going to stay on and lay back down.
Back down. Missed breakfast, lunch,
dinner. But I'm glad I ate before I went to sleep.
Ooh,
so it was like, you know what? Yeah, so I was like, you know what, I'm good. But no, man, I had a real good day. I spent some time with the missus yesterday all day. And that was really it. Okay,
well, that's some good stuff, man. All right, well, look, it's like we got people coming, but we still gonna get the soul plane up to 60,000 feet. In a hot second, we gonna get this bad boy up.
What's? Computer, you saw that?
The internet.
You saw that? You saw it just
they
closed
said,
up.
oh, Lord.
Okay, are we good?
Let's get this soul plane up and away. We at 60,000 feet. Let me see if I can run through some of these headlines very quickly because we got to stay on schedule because we do have about 9 candidates coming in today, Riis. We got to squeeze them all into the stage and get this whole thing. I like how y'all did the setup. Not the little setup. It's going to be fresh. So we got 9 candidates coming in from the 5th Ward.
Is that all of them?
I think that's all of them. Shout out to Regina Gibson, our Director of Governmental Affairs for BP1. She is also a producer of the show. It's going down today. We got everybody coming in.
Shout out to everybody that came today. To everybody.
Yeah. Oh, what's up with the everybody not coming?
I really don't know.
I do.
Especially the one that was the one that was the Democratic choice. But it always goes to my point. I keep trying to tell y'all they don't know. They don't need to vote. To fight for y'all vote. You're gonna vote anyway. This is the person that was elected by the Democrat to win this spot in the election, and they don't even have time to come and talk to the black people.
That's why we made it early, so we could be before they had to go to work. But it's all good. Look, maybe he was legislating. I can't tell. It's okay. We gonna take. If you hear, you hear. If you ain't, you missed your opportunity. Look, y'all, it's the Mace Jackson Show. So real quick, last candidates, last chance, 5th Ward today, 7 o'clock. It's 9 candidates, so it's probably gonna go a little while longer than we expected. I'm gonna do a little instigating today too, is what I think. The mayor, did you see yesterday? The mayor said I misspoke about her. She said I was caught up in the hullabaloo of the cannabis. I mean, not the cannabis. Listen to me. The mayor said she got caught up in the emotions of being on the campaign trail, and while she was up there, she may have said that, but she wants to encourage everybody to vote, but just vote for her, right? So anyway, the whole candidate, everybody was like, "Oh, now Riis, they tried to say yesterday we can't be mad at that." So when Sister Zakia call up and say she going fishing, we got to snap on her the same way we snapped on the mayor.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Y'all always talk about some damn fair. Life is not fair, but it's okay. We're gonna get to that. So we're going to. So the mayor Actually, yesterday the mayor early voted, and when she went to early vote, she took her daughter with her, and it's just crazy to me how much she's grown. I mean, she looked like a straight up teenager who was like, "Dag nabbit," you know, like the kids who's got parents that be active, and the kids be like, "I really don't want to be here."
Yeah.
That it was like she was looking like a teenager, and it just, I'm gonna tell you, for all the stuff that I talk, it definitely humanized the mayor for me at that moment, because I was like, no matter what you feel like, if you got a teenager, everybody knows that look, right? Everybody.
I really don't want to be here.
Oh, my parents made me. They pay the bills.
Yeah.
Right? They gonna be talking smack if I don't come. But
here in church all day.
Right.
we been here since 9 a.m. and it's 9 p.m. Sunday school, morning service, afternoon service, YPW. This is too many services.
This is right. So anyway, she was there, and it just made me think about the mayor having a family. So I do, as much as we talk smack in politics, it was just a great reminder of a family. Speaking of family, they have now finally, Riis, I haven't said anything about it because, I feel a certain way about people's families getting brought into it. But that they, did you see that they talked about Chuy Garcia's son being a gang member? So bad so that Chuy Garcia got a commercial talking about, me. I'm sorry when we found out. Maybe should I play that commercial? When
I've never seen it.
Riis, they got a commercial. Chuy tried to do the Pat Quinn, me trick. But he like, me, I have a son that's in the game.
You see, every time he's always trending down, man. What do you do?
Yeah, man. Speaking of trending down, Ron DeSantis was in the building yesterday in his big city tour. How you gonna have a big city tour? Did somebody open the door? It feel like a draft came in.
Did, definitely did. I thought it was me, but I was up like, I don't know.
Golly. Y'all make sure y'all go start letting people in through the other door. Right? Don't let them come in through the main door. Let them go in through the TP door. Yeah, because every time you open it up, so make them go through the TP door, because then at least there's the wind. It'll get caught in the whatchamajig. So stop letting them in. Make sure the TP door is open and let them in that way. All right, y'all. Let me see what else I got. So Ron DeSantis in his big city tour, Riis, wound up going to, guess where? He went to Elmhurst. That ain't the big city. That's like a suburban dude talk about, I'm going to Chicago, and then have it in Elmhurst. Dog, that is not Elmhurst.
Right. I tell people, I'm going to dinner's at home.
Who the Hulk is outside?
Oh, but look, tomorrow might be 70, so you never.
Man, open up the door when it's 70, because it's like, man, I could feel it all in my legs. Speaking of that, they said Mayor Lightfoot, for all the anti-violence money she talked about, she only spent $25 million of the $410 million she got, Riis. 6%.
Or the rest.
She probably stashing it for in case she don't win. She gonna have a violence prevention.
If you got 94% of that $40 million and you don't win, you supposed to be having commercials everywhere.
Exactly. Right. I had people walking down the street talking with them sandwich boys. Brandon Johnson is picking up steam once again. He just got the endorsement of Monica Gordon, Cook County Commissioner, as well as Bob Martwick. Bob Martwick, if you don't recall, was the guy who got into it with Tony Preckwinkle. She got into it with him last year, and 4 years ago, and it was kind of the other part that propelled her to the front. Campaign finance, but now they're trying to whack Brandon Johnson for campaign finance, saying he didn't file his reports on time. But on top of that, they're saying that CTU members are upset that they mortgaged their future dues to pay for the campaign now. I don't know if I talked about that yesterday, but they're going to try, and now you seeing the white folks on the inside getting upset with them. Finally, Susanna Mendoza is on the front page of the Chicago Sun-Times, suggesting that Mayor Lightfoot sold out the police and their disability. Now, I don't know who Susanna Mendoza is working for, but at some point, Riis, how does it a week before the election, 1 week literally before the election, the state comptroller comes out with a picture of her brother talking about he hurt.
They supposed to always wait till right before, Like, you're supposed to hold the good stuff to the week before so you can really sway the voters. Like,
man, well, I'm just saying that's kind of backstabby to be happening in the last week, like 1 week before the election. She on the front page dogging the mayor, saying she called out the mayor, Melissa Conyers Irvin, and somebody else, saying that they all was responsible. Oh, and Susie Park, and saying that they blew the police. They said she tried to get them for COVID. He wanted double disability.
What's double disability?
Hey, man, I don't know, but anytime you say government, somebody getting double, and everybody ain't even got a single.
Ain't nobody got a single.
Right. It'd be interesting. But it's just the front page of the paper, and it's just Mendoza on the attack. I think Mendoza's working with Vallis. She said accountability. If you paid attention to it, she said accountability. And Paul Vallis has been talking about in all of his commercials accountability. So that must be a strong word that's polling really well. And then finally, Riis, this one goes to you. Pat Bev came to that's still one of your headlines. You can still put it in there.
Yeah, no, I was saying, that was good. I saw that too when I woke up. I mean, it ain't gonna really change us.
I think it's just gonna make us a little bit more attitudinal, right? He's just gonna be a little bit more scrappy. We've been at the games, and the Bulls don't be like, they ain't got no feist.
Levy acting light skinned right now.
Every time I see him, I be like, man, he is extra.
I want some money, then you pay him. I won't get traded now.
Right. He looked like he's gonna start painting his fingernails soon. All right, y'all. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man DJ Riis the Rule on the ones and twos. We're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be back after these messages. Don't forget, it's the 5th ward. It is the 5th ward last chance candidate debate today, starting at 7:00. We got 9 candidates signed up to be here, so it's gonna be a humdinger of an event. Don't miss it. We'll be back after these messages.
The Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break. Maze Jackson.
Tune in to the Maze Jackson Show every day, Monday through Friday from 6 to 9 a.m., where you can catch us on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook Live. Plus, from 6:30 to 8, you can get us on WBGX 1570 a.m. That's right, it's the Maze Jackson Show, where every single day we ask the question, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them. Maze said, we out of here. Peace.
We can count on Paul Vallis. When Paul Vallis was CEO of Chicago Public Schools, he revitalized our neighborhood schools. No one delivered more for our underserved young people than Paul Vallis. As mayor, Paul Vallis will ensure that communities long neglected get a fair share of city investment, attracting the grocery stores we need, improving sanitation, and other city services in our neighborhoods. Vote Paul Vallis, a mayor for all of us. Paid for by Vallis for Mayor.
Willie Wilson for mayor of Chicago. The violence in Chicago must stop. Willie Wilson pledges real action to do that. A revised police structure, 4 superintendents, more accessible to their neighborhoods, providing faster communication and concentration of resources. Willie Wilson pledges more integrated police patrols to increase community, confidence, and cooperation. Willie Wilson's pledge will make Chicago safer. Finally, Chicago, do it right. Willie Wilson for mayor.
With a longtime 34th Ward turning into the 21st Ward, there's only one clear choice for your next alderman of the 21st Ward, Cornell Dantzler. If you live in the 34th Ward, which is now the 21st Ward, vote for Cornell Dantzler in the upcoming election to represent your ward as alderman.
We will work together as a family and as a team so that we can make the 21st Ward one of the best wards in the city of Chicago. Thank you.
Punch 51 for Cornell Dantzler.
And now, traffic and weather.
Yo, who said devotion had to be sad? Yo, check this out. The Lord is my shepherd, and I want. He's making me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He restores my soul. God's gonna turn it around.
Come all the way with me. Don't leave me now. Come all the way with me. Oh, please. Please. Please don't leave me now. Please don't leave me now. Please. From glory to Gethsemane to Golgotha to the grave, from the grave back to glory. Glory to Gethsemane to Golgotha to the grave, from the grave back to glory. Glory to Gethsemane.
Gethsemane, Golgotha to the grave, from the grave. God's gonna turn around. Glory to Gethsemane, to Golgotha. Oh, Golgotha to the grave, from the grave. Back to glory. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. God's gonna turn around. Come all the way with me. Don't leave me now. Come all the way with me. Oh, please. God's gonna turn around. God's gonna turn around.
Yo, who said devotion have to be sad? Yo, check this out. The Lord is my shepherd, shall not want. He's making me to lie down in green pastures. He leading me beside the still waters. He restored my soul. God's gonna turn it around.
Come all the way with me. Don't leave me now.
Good morning. What's in it for the Black People Media family? The time is now 6:39 a.m. I'm Riis the Ruler with your Chicagoland area sports, traffic, and weather update. As we head over to sports, Big Ten action last night as the Illini would take on Minnesota as Meyer will drop 22 and give Minnesota their 10th loss in a row. As we head over to the NBA now, Chicago in need of a point guard, and look no other place than West Side and Chicago's own Patrick Beverly as he will sign to the Chicago Bulls. Let's head over to traffic now. On the Kennedy, O'Hare to the Loop will be 30 minutes. Outbound will be 23. On the Edens, inbound from Deerfield to the Exchange will be 30 minutes. Exchange to Deerfield will be 27. While the Eisenhower is 34 minutes. Thorndale to the Loop, 27 back out. On the Stevenson from I-355 to the Dan Ryan will be 45 minutes. Outbound will be 28. While the Bishop Ford is 38 minutes. I-80 to the Dan Ryan, 28 minutes to I-80. On the Dan Ryan, 17 minutes to the Loop, 12 minutes to 95th. While DuSable Drive is locked in at 8 minutes all around. Today's weather, it is currently 31 degrees and windy. Today will be a high of 40 with a low of 25. I'm Riis the Ruler. It's the Maze Jackson Show on a Tuesday.
Don't leave me now. Come all the way with me. Oh, please. God's gonna turn around. God's gonna turn around.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man, DJ Riis the Rule on the ones and twos. And y'all, man, this is, you know how we do every day at 6:30. We say what's up to everybody from WBGX 1570 AM. That's right, WBGX 1570 AM. You can catch us every day, Monday through Friday, 6:30 to 8 a.m. right there on. Now, you can check us out on live on the radio. Or you know what you can do, like Sister Zakia. I don't know if you can do like Big John Austin, because I think Big John Austin is in the building with us today. But you listen on your TuneIn app. That's right. You can go to your Google Play Store or to your Apple App Store. Go in, download the TuneIn app, and then download TuneIn. Go to 1570 AM WBGX. And y'all can check us out. Now, you can also check us out live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch every day, 6 to 9 a.m. That's right, 6 to 9 a.m. Monday through Friday. Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m. on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. That's where the Saints roll with us. Now, you know, we also have started doing this one thing that we do every day, y'all. Trying to show people some love, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know what? I don't know if you know, man, when it's your birthday, you be wanting people to say it's your birthday, even if you don't really say it's your birthday. You know, you be feeling
the
the
way. You
way.
want to hear it. You know, you're going, oh, you thought you remember me?
You remember me on my
my
birthday?
all these days, and you thought about me.
You thought of little old me on my birthday? So let me tell you, I want to make sure that we show some big love on people on their birthday. So let me switch it up real quick. Let me get y'all some birthday love up there. All right, y'all. It is that time of the day where we sing and say happy birthday to everybody. Now, I got to send a big old shout out to Alderman, 17th Ward Alderman David Moore. Now, do y'all know David Moore is having a birthday party right here at Obsidian on Friday night? Birthday party fundraiser right here. So, y'all, if you have not been to Obsidian and you want an opportunity, you're not a member, then you're going to have to turn that down. Definitely come on, check out Alderman David Moore. But today, go to his Facebook page, send him a happy birthday, tell him what's up, have a shout out, tell him you heard it right here on the Maze Jackson Show. Happy birthday to all 17th Ward Alderman David Moore. Shout out to Alexis Collins, Jake Elwood, State Representative Teresa Ma. She is the chairperson of the Latino Caucus. Joe Colasari, Cherie D. Johnson, Terry Young. Is that the Terry Young? Uh-oh. Is that the Terry Young? Hold on. J.L. Pettigrew and Lance Rhodes. But I need to go back and check to make sure. Is that Terry Young? Terry Young? You don't want no problems. Let me just say happy birthday. I don't think that's the Terry Young. But regardless, if it is or if it ain't, Terry Young, whoever Terry Young it is, he like, I am the Terry Young. So, right. Do it one more time. Is that the Terry Young? Because if it is, you know what I'm saying, I don't really want no problems.
What's in it for the black people?
So, happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Hey. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, yo. Let me tell y'all happy birthday.
You would have been an artist. I could see you all. You would have been like a rock star. You know that?
Hey, man,
you would have so been the first black rock star. They couldn't tell you nothing.
They wouldn't. I wouldn't. Let me tell you. If I could sing, y'all wouldn't even know me. I wouldn't even talk to y'all. If I could sing, I wouldn't even talk to y'all.
You sign an autograph with a stamp. There you go, right there. I don't got.
Take that.
I don't got time to write.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Y'all lucky I cannot sing, because if I could sing, there would be problems with the world. There would be problems in the world. But thank God it isn't. I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show. So happy birthday to everybody out there. All right, Riis. We've had a lot of fun. And very shortly, we are going to be beginning the last chance debates. Apparently, we do not have 9 candidates now. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay.
Including a white reparationist.
All right. You trying to win us over. Y'all know how that
is. Amen.
Y'all know.
Amen. Straight up. And excuse me. He represents for the freedmen.
Yeah. I gotta see.
Hey, our boy Chris Levy gonna be here today.
Yeah.
You know Chris. I ain't gonna say that. I know Chris is like, I can't wait. Let me stop. Yeah. We got all types of people. Wallace Good, Josh Gray. Man, I don't know if y'all remember my man Josh Gray. He used to be the
Is this open? Is this an open one? Is this spot open, or is there incumbent to, like, is somebody already?
Oh, it's an open spot. It's open seat. Josh Gray, man, you know Josh was he used to be Amara Inya's campaign manager. Okay. Man, last time I think I saw Josh, we was at the Sundance Awards checking everything out. Chris Levy, Robert Palmer. Do you think is that the Robert Palmer that I didn't mean to turn you on?
Well, if they did, then maybe give us a little song or something.
Okay, maybe. We got Gabe Piemonte. I saw Gabe one day when I was just on Jeffrey, and he was walking across the street with his giving petitions. I said, "Who is you, man? Who you giving petitions?" He said, "Myself."
Yeah, so
I said, "Oh, okay." All right, we Renita Ward and then Desmond Yancey. So I'm going to tell y'all, it's going to be a great look, not a great look. It's going to be a great last chance debate. We got some questions. We got some things we got to get people want answers to. So we're going to talk about it all just in just a little while. But in the meantime, Riis, I got a question, Riis. I want to know. Well, I guess, Riis, I got a question. You know how it goes. Maybe you can hit the button, and then we can go. We can
Time for the social media question of the day.
Where does the mayor's endorsement help? Now, first, Riis, I want you to open up the phone lines. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. 872-259-7474. While my man DJ Riis the Ruler is getting the phone lines open and up, I want to ask, where does the mayor's endorsement help? Now, the reason I ask that is there's a story on the front page of the Chicago Tribune today, and it talks about the 12th Ward alderman not accepting the appointment to be the alderman because she did not want to be picked as a candidate for Mayor Lori Lightfoot. She didn't want the candidate association. Now, Riis, I'm going to be honest with you, man. Back in the day, even if you ain't like them, like everybody wanted to be down with the mayor. Because being down with the mayor meant you got resources, you was on the team, and it was like, you might not like me, but you can't beat me. This is the first time that I can recall in recent history where candidates are actively and openly avoiding the endorsement of the mayor. Even Rahm Emanuel, people wanted his endorsement. Now, that's because he had money, so he'd be like, endorse me, and I got you. But I want y'all to give us a call at 872-259-7474, 872-259-7474. Where does the mayor's endorsement actually help you? Now, I'll be honest with you. Even yesterday when we were talking to the candidates from the 4th Ward and I asked, should the mayor get a second chance, they were all kind of waffly. I think in the black community, there are some places, I'm not exactly sure where, that the mayor's endorsement helps. But I'm not sure where. So I was sitting down and, I was doing a little grid and I was saying, okay, let's take the city of Chicago. Let's say the South Side. Okay, can we agree that there is a South Side?
Yeah.
Can we agree that there is a West Side?
Yeah.
Can we agree that there's a North Side?
Yes.
Now, is there an East Side?
See, we
need to ask the 5th Ward.
I'm from out
is
west.
there an East Side? Okay.
I'm from out west.
Okay.
So we don't believe in the East Side because I understand the South Side people do believe in the East Side, from Cottage and over east. But if you're on 79th and Cottage, you are 79 blocks south and 8 blocks east. I don't know how that's over east, but for somehow they have convinced themselves to believe that they're over east.
So we're going to ask, because check this out. The 5th Ward is over east. So that's going to be one of the questions that we're going to have to ask. Is there an East Side? That might help or hurt somebody. But Riis, I said, let's pretend, let's just for tickles and giggles today, act like the East Side is part of the South Side. Okay? If you were to go on the South Side of Chicago, do you think that the mayor's endorsement helps you with black people on the South Side? Yes or no?
Probably. I think the mayor's probably a little light though out south.
Like?
I've been out south and seen the mayor get a lot of positive feedback out south.
She get a lot of positive feedback with Willie Preston. Yeah, Willie Preston waving the flag, boy. Hey, man, Willie doing his thing, though. I was like, if you gonna go, man, go hard. Okay, so let's think about this, though. Southwest, the black people. Okay, so the black people on the South, Derek Curtis ain't with her. I don't know if she with David Moore. David Moore ain't got a raise, so David Moore endorsed Sophia King. Okay, let's see. Stephanie Coleman. Hey, I saw Paul Vallis and the mayor Stephanie Coleman joint. You know, Stephanie Coleman be like, hey, every man for himself.
I'm trying to tell you.
Right. Remember she said you put my joint in the subcommittee.
Oh, I booked y'all at the same time. I'm sorry.
Right. So I'm just saying, the mayor, now you get over to the 8th Ward, right? The 8th Ward, Michelle Harris, she's with the mayor, right? So it might help with those senior citizens because they do good. But let's see, like the 7th Ward, Greg Mitchell. I don't know what the people in the 7th Ward. 4th Ward, I don't know, man. That's that Sophia King area. The 5th Ward, we going to find out a little bit over there. But, right? Like, that's the Jackson Park, South Shore. So I say that the mayor I say she 50-50 on the South Side. Because then you got Willie Wilson, Riis. Right?
You know, that's the people's champ. You know how you got a people's champ?
Like the dude who played high school basketball that, could beat everybody, but he went to jail.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, but he went to jail, so he ain't gonna like the best basketball player in the history of basketball. He would have killed Michael Jordan, but he went to jail.
Yeah, he did something, but he got caught. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Okay, people's champ.
People's champ.
Free Willie.
Willie Wilson is definitely the people's champ, man.
All right. So, would you rather have, if you in the black neighborhood, would you rather have Willie Wilson's endorsement or the mayor's endorsement? And you trying to win?
I'd rather have who?
Willie Wilson. Do you want Willie Wilson or do you want the mayor's endorsement if you're in the black community? I hear somebody behind me talking about
West Side. It all depends.
Look at John.
It all depends because it's
on the West Side. See, I think on the West Side,
the mayor.
The mayor.
So you will always want. I understand we want Willie. I mean, like Willie would be good, but if you tell somebody like, "Hey, Willie Wilson endorsement," like, "Hey, okay, that's good," but when you say it ain't even like Lori, you like the mayor of Chicago endorsement, you be like the mayor
in the black neighborhood. So I'm gonna say this.
I don't even think
go ahead.
Anywhere, like you say, the mayor. And black, man, they love name tags. The mayor, come on, man, they gonna.
I think that the mayor endorsement on the West Side, that means something. Cause the mayor ain't doing it out east, out west, like out south, like she doing it out west. Right? I just don't know that the out west got the numbers that she needs, right? Yeah. It's like the mayor I swear to God, she doing a ribbon cutting every day out west, right? She doing something out west every damn day. I'm not tripping because I live out west.
Allowing skating rinks to have no walls.
Hey!
Oh, my.
Why you hating, man?
The man endorsed it, That's sad, but not. But the mayor endorsement, whether good or bad, will always be a valid endorsement.
Okay. All right. So, the white people don't think so. The white people who even the ones she appointed be like, don't say my name, okay? Just don't say my name. Whatever you do, don't say my name. So let's say, do you think that the mayor's endorsement helps you with the white South Side?
Deep South.
No, there's nowhere on the South. Where does the mayor's endorsement help you with white people? Tell me where. Tell me where. Where up north?
Up north.
Now that they got, where at up north? Now that they got Brandon Johnson, where? Brandon just released the LGBT rights whole plan.
But he ain't with him though.
He's super with him. Nah, he got a policy. He getting ready to open up an office.
She with him.
I heard she on the house, man.
Yeah, but she part of. She actually with them. That's what I mean. Like he ain't.
Oh, you trying to get a letter?
No, I'm just saying he's not with him. With him, like she. I just like saying. Like black people, like somebody white be like, oh yeah, I'm with the black people. Like, yeah, you with us, but you ain't with us. Like, like she's actually part of the LGBTQ community, and that's a fact.
That's how we.
So it's kind of like they stick together. Like people should stick together.
So we should stick together with the mayor, or who should we stick together with? Let's find out though, because I think you got a call. So let's do this. Let's open up the phone lines. Give us a call. 872-259-7474. 872-259-7474. Where does the mayor's endorsement actually help you?
Oh, you got one.
Caller. Can we head over there?
Yeah, Maze, how you doing, brother?
All right, who this?
Mr. Preston himself.
All right. Hey, look. Yeah, let's let's get ready, y'all. It is our favorite state senator from the Sweet 16. It is the one and only, the illustrious State Senator Willie Preston, about to hit a 60-second Mayor Lori Lightfoot commercial. All right, Senator, let's hear it, bro. Let's hear it. And stop by. You should stop by the broadcast, man. Now, if you don't get in no trouble, man, you should come on by. All right, go ahead, Senator. What's up?
Listen, I am just calling in, Brother Mays, to say, look, this is a broadcast for the city of Chicago, but more importantly to Black Chicago, to the South Side. Here's why I'm supporting the mayor and why I encourage everybody to get off the fence and support her. The realities are the mayor has done a ton of good for Black Chicago in less than one term, okay? The simple fact of the matter is, for so long our city has been run by people in the shadows, Mays, and you taught me this. People who have refused to allow our community to participate in the economics of the city. The mayor is not only bringing development to the South Side and the West Side, which have been neglected for so fucking long, and you know that. Excuse my French.
Hey, man, you
But
got the
she's
church
allowing
people
black
on, boy. The Saints is on.
You're on my car phone. I'm traveling to Springfield to do the people's business. But I'll tell you this. I'm going to speak up a little bit. The mayor has allowed Black people to participate in the development of our own community. That is something that has not happened in the way that it's happening now. And I want to make sure that we continue that because that is progress for our community. Every time we get a situation where people are helping Black people, we have serious issues. The mayor is helping Black people. But the thing is that she's figured out a way to help Black people and not neglect the rest of the city. That's what the issue is. So I can tell you this. When the mayor gets in office and now has to experience COVID, she still figured out a way to develop things on the South and West Side and still made sure that Black people were part of the development. But not only that, she made sure that Black people participated in the professional services, Black attorneys, Black accountants. These are things that we shouldn't take lightly. In addition to all of that, Mays, we have to sit down and recognize some of the things that the mayor has done for poor people all over the city. Remember, before, there were people who had thousands of dollars or hundreds of dollars who couldn't get their licenses because they owed tickets. The mayor changed that. I wish he'd talk about that a bit more. The issue isn't what the mayor's done. The issue is that the mayor is not getting her message out because the people that, quite frankly, know what she's done, some of these folks are elected officials, are refusing to show up and speak on her behalf. So I refuse to sit on the sideline and just not speak up for this mayor because I know what she's done, and like many others know. Now, like I said, where I'm from, that's called being solid. Now, again, I'll go back to the healthy hub that you take a little bit of issue with.
Hey, Senator. You get the healthy. Well, I gave you the mayor's commercial, and I'm gonna respect that. And I think
let me say one last point, man.
Okay, go ahead.
It's Alderman Walter Burnett that is in charge of a $2 billion casino, not Ed Burke. Okay? That's Chicago's first casino. Our Alderman, Walter Burnett, is given a high responsibility of being in charge of that. And I respect the mayor for doing that. That's not just jobs made for dealers and servers. That's jobs for so many across the board. And you got to think, Walter Burnett is putting those opportunities in the hands of our people. Do we think Paul Vallis would do it? Do we think Chewy would do it? And the realities are why I love Dr. Wilson, he does not have a path to victory. We have to be intelligent about our politics. We have to make certain that we support the best candidate that's going to meet out our interests. And that candidate is the mayor.
And so on that note, I'm going to stop you right there, Senator, because I'm running up against the break, and we are about to do the Fifth Ward last chance debate. Shout out to State Senator Willie Preston going to the mat for the mayor. I'm not mad at him, man.
I love it, though.
Hey, man, I'm going to say like this.
Solid, you said it.
It looked like, yeah, so I'm not hating. Let me say this. I think that everybody has their advocates, and what has to happen is, I'm going to be honest, the mayor's advocates have not done a very good job of standing up and speaking out, but that's because she got to pick better. But anyway, in this space, it is almost time for the 5th Ward last chance candidate debates. So y'all get ready, because I think they are lined up on the other side. They getting ready to get it cracking. So let's do that. Hey, Riis, is anybody else on the line? It's nobody else on the line, right? All right, so let's do this. Let's take a quick break, and then y'all, when we come back, get ready. It is the 5th Ward last chance candidates debate. We'll be back after these messages.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
Over 25 years ago, Patrick Brutus decided that serving the public was the best way to help his community. And since then, he has been a dependable and trustworthy friend to all. Now, by fighting for safe and walkable streets, new businesses, and retail corridors, Patrick Brutus has the right vision and the most experience to lead the 6th Ward. On Election Day, punch 53 for Patrick Brutus, because he's our choice for alderman of the 6th Ward.
My name is Chris Levy, and I'm working hard to become your next 5th Ward alderman. As a lifelong Chicagoan, I chose the historic 5th Ward as my home and a place to raise my family. This means I have a vested interest in our safety and prosperity. But we need a change, and I'm the best candidate for the job. I'm not a career politician, but a motivated citizen who cares and will do whatever it takes to restore our community to greatness. My name is Chris Levy, and I want to drive change. Please punch 60 and vote for me for 5th Ward Alderman. My name is Chris Levy, and I approve this message.
Well, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water, and I think of all the things, what you're doing, and in my head I paint a picture. Well, since I've come home, well, my body's been a mess, and I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. But won't you come on over? Stop making a fool out of me. Why don't you come on over, Valerie? Did you have to go to jail? Put your house on up for sale? Did you get a good lawyer? I hope you didn't catch a tan. I hope you find the right man who'll fix it for you. And are you shopping anywhere? Change the color of your hair. Are you busy? And did you have to pay that fine that you've been dodging all the time? Are you still dizzy? Oh, yeah. Since I've come home, well, my body's been a mess, and I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over? Oh, stop making a fool out of me. Why don't you come on over, Valerie? Well, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water, and I think of all the things, what you're doing. In my head I paint a picture. Since I've come home, well, my body's been a mess, and I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over? Stop making a fool out of me. Why don't you come on over there? Why don't you come on over Valley?
You ever blame yourself for some shit you didn't do? Carry the weight for love, kept it moving, ain't never look back. 'Cause I see the bigger picture of being a victim. No, things get hard, you gotta be strong, I've been right there with you. So live your whole truth and be your whole you. Yeah, they can talk behind your back, but they can't hold you. I don't keep my drama or my feelings in a bottle. Take a shot, no drama, just want you to know what I know. It don't last forever, promise it gets better. You've been through the biggest storm, but you can change the weather. Been under pressure, you know my name. Whenever the heat comes, I put out the flame. It made me a diamond. It made me a diamond. It made me a diamond. You know my name. Sparkle pushing on the gas. Hey, I've been moving in the fast lane. Don't be looking in the past, 'cause when you're looking, you get past. Don't get it twisted, I ain't forgetting. You know I've been through a whole bunch of this shit, 'cause I put a line on that clock 'cause I'm lit. Can't nobody question I'm legit. I've been on the move, 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 move. Move, make it do what it do. Ain't got nothing to prove. Redefining the cool, hey. I don't keep my drama or my feelings in a bottle. Take a shot, no drama, just want you to know what I know. It don't last forever, promise it gets better. You've been through the biggest storm, but you can change the weather. Been under pressure, you know my name. Whenever the heat comes, I put out the flame. It made me a diamond. It made me a diamond. It made me a diamond. You know my name. Sparkle, sparkle. Sparkle, sparkle. Sparkle, sparkle. Hey, sparkle, sparkle. Focus on your mission and get to your bag. Get to your bag, push you the mission you got. And they see you get it, your haters get mad. Focus on your mission and get to your bag. Get to your bag, push you the mission you got.
Back to the Maze Jackson Show. You are listening to the most dangerous show. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For the black people, 'cause economically we are not equal. Waking up to lies, can't doze no more. I told y'all, yeah, this a dangerous show. Don't go to church if you ain't trying to help us. Don't even try to be around and can't protect us. We see the lies, not other politicians. We need money and no symbolism. It's Maze and Riis and Ruthie and Ty, explaining how we all come from God, giving us tools to beat the odds. If we united, our movement gon' stop. If they ain't tryna help us, they ain't tryna do nothing. We gotta do something, we gotta stop running. It's time to confront the problem. Really, you expect your oppressed to solve.
Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man, DJ Riis the Ruler, in the building. DJ Riis the Ruler. I got a little stage fright, man. I'm feeling a little way. You know, usually it's just me and you in the studio. We looking at each other. We talking back and forth. The Obsidian is filling up. We got people in the building. We got a full slate of candidates in front of us. Lord, Lord, Lord. We about to have a good old time. Look, y'all, this is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. And this is what we have been calling the last chance candidate debates. The opportunity for you, the black community, to get an opportunity to meet the candidates that are running in the wards and in the races throughout the black community, and get some questions that black folks, y'all gonna do this right here? Wait, hold on. So y'all not going to interrupt the set right this second. We'll do that at the commercial break, because we now having to do. Actually, we'll do it when we swap out. We can put people in the space. All right, y'all. So this is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Fifth Ward last chance candidate debate. A last chance for black people who are to get an opportunity to hear from the candidates that are running for office in what is probably, while we give a lot of attention to the mayor's race, I'm going to tell you that this new city council is probably going to be one of the most important ever, particularly for our community. And when I say our community, the black community, because we are probably at the end of an era of 49. Well, we definitely are at the end of the 49-1 era. And I think that we are looking at a time when the city council may decide to organize itself, committee chairs, committee heads, as well as voting or not voting with or for the mayor and his or her policies, whoever he or she may be. And so while we have been so often talked about the narrative has been about a rubber stamp city council, I think we are in a position where we may be looking at people who are going to represent us specifically for our self-interest. Now, with that in mind, we decided and let me thank the sponsors of this event, What's in It for the Black People Media, What's in It for the Black People Political Action Committee, and Black People First, the political party. Again, we want to be clear. Our initiatives, we are not against anyone, but today this is an opportunity for you to address issues that are specific to black folks in Chicago. We recognize that you all, let me also be clear, we recognize that you all represent a diverse wards, so oftentimes you are limited or you have to couch your answers because you want to be all inclusive. Today we would just ask that we are clear today that this is specifically around issues that impact the black community. So we would like to create a safe space. You choose to answer the questions how you choose to answer them, but please recognize that we are targeting a black specific audience. We've got actually 9 candidates minus 8, minus 1 that we've got 8 on the stage. 1 is going to be leaving, and then we're going to be replacing that one with someone else. So let's do this very quickly. I want to let you all know we have timekeepers. Shout out to my Director of Governmental Affairs, Regina Gibson. Thank you to Zaviola Coleman, who is our Executive Secretary, and will be keeping the time today. Because we have so many candidates, everybody will not get the same question all of the time. So if I point to you because I'm trying to remember all the names, please don't, and please make sure that you say your name when you answer the questions. Let's say this. Finally, please respect the clock. I'll give you the opportunity to put a period on your sentence. After that, then don't make me have Riis start playing the greatest hits of Barry Manilow as you are trying to finish up. With that in mind, I'm gonna actually start, and I'll start to my right with Mr. Yancey. If everyone can give me a 30-second introduction. And ladies and gentlemen, I am going to ask you to share the mic on your table if you don't mind cooperating with that. All right, we ready, Madam Timekeeper? All right, Mr. Yancey, we'll begin with you. Welcome.
Well, thank you. Good morning. My name is Desmond Yancey. I'm a resident of South Shore. Spent about 20 years as a community organizer, policy advocate, and worked for about 10 years with SEIU Healthcare, organizing people around 5 for 15 and organizing seniors. And then in 2016, I co-founded the Grassroots Alliance for Police Accountability after the killing of Laquan McDonald to bring police accountability, front-end and back-end accountability to Chicago. Thank you.
All right. Mr. Piemonte.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Gabriel Piemonte. I'm the white candidate with a reparationist framework. That has upset some of my fellow candidates, but it is what it is. I've been 24 years in the community. I'm delighted that we're having this conversation right here, right now, making closing arguments, because we are right next to the Southside Community Federal Credit Union, which 23 years ago, a group of us got together and started to organize to make happen, and this is the 20th anniversary of that event. I've been building in the community for years, and I've also been standing up for people in the community for years, and I thank y'all for this introductory time.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Robert Palmer. I am a teacher. As a matter of fact, I got to leave and go to work shortly. I am a member of the Chicago Teachers Union. I represent, or I'm for reparations, and I want to see the Fifth Ward rise again. The Fifth Ward has been in decline. We don't want to see outside forces try to take it over. And if we, thank you.
Next up, Mr. Levy. Don't spill that coffee on my table.
I understand, sir. Good morning, everyone. I'm Chris Levy, Punch 60. Chris Levy for Fifth Ward, alderperson. I'm a Southside native, born and raised on the South Side, educated downstate, University of Illinois. Engineering graduate. My family owns a business in Hyde Park. I live in South Shore. I am a parent of a University of Chicago grad. I am not a politician. I'm not a career politician. I like to make that perfectly clear. But I'm a very concerned citizen who's held various leadership roles in the community, most qualified to serve you in the Fifth Ward. Thank you, Chris Levy.
You ready?
I'm trying to figure out how this clock works.
Go.
Hi, I'm Tina Hone. I am not the white candidate. My mother's African American, and I'm glad Gabe said it. I have to say that because this is about black people. Don't let it fool you. My mother's black. I grew up in Roseland. My primary identity is African American. My mother calls me her revenge. I'm an attorney. I don't say I'm attorney Tina Hone, but I am attorney Tina Hone. I've spent my career fighting for social justice and working in the public policy arena. No other candidate has my breadth and depth of experience. I know how to get things done. Thank you.
Mr. Gray.
All right. My name is Joshua Gray, Hyde Park native, longtime South Shore resident, father of four. I care about the south and west side of Chicago because we have to understand that we have black people everywhere in Chicago. I plan to use my experience as a community organizer for Father Flaker for 6 years, 13 years in education, teacher, dean, and assistant principal, and my last 7 years of political work in city council to lead and advocate for the residents of the Fifth Ward. Thank you.
It's on me. My name is Wallace E. Good, Jr. I'm a son of Woodlawn, raised by a Teamster and a social worker. So you know what my life was like when I was growing up. Went to Catholic elementary school, taught by nuns, and was blessed to have University of Chicago students tutor me in 6th, 7th, 8th grade. I knew what college was like long before I ever got out of elementary school. I've worked internationally in the United States Peace Corps. I've been a dean at 4 different universities, and I've done workforce development for business leaders, small minority businesses. Wallace Good, thank you.
All right, let me take a quick minute. Riis, do me a favor, get that camera in right space. All right, first of all, thank you all for coming today.
Got one more.
Oh, Dad, I'm sorry. Go ahead, I'm looking at this.
All right. Good morning, everyone. My name is Marlene Fisher. I am a 25-year resident of the ward. I'm here because I can do more. I'm here to advocate for black people. I live in a black neighborhood. I love black people. I want to live and work with black people. I currently work at University of Chicago, and I live in Grand Crossing. I'm here because I can do more. Fisher for Fifth Ward, Marlene Fisher. Thank you.
All right, now I think we have, I think you had to leave, Mr. Palmer, right? So if we can give Mr. Palmer the opportunity to leave, and I think we had another candidate that came in, can we get you up, can we get him around this corner, do it this way? We'll go this way. Ms. Fisher, you can still stay cool. We got these gentlemen in the building. All right, y'all, this is the Mays Jackson Show. We are live in the building. Please, Mr. Yancey, don't take us out. We got you. And if you are... It's all right. You know how people they're gonna do how they gonna do. Thank you, Mr. Pop. Please be careful of all the man. Please be careful of all. Hey. Thank you. Appreciate you. All right, and then I'm sorry if you don't mind. We'll introduce, and I don't mean to be rude, guys. I got a lot going on right this second. And then if the last candidate can introduce herself, I'm sorry, ma'am. If you can grab that mic and tell us your name. Can I have my list?
Good morning, and
you can pull it closer to you.
Good morning, Renita Q. Ward, and the last shall be made first. My name is Attorney Renita Ward. I'm so grateful to be here. I look forward to serving the 5th Ward as the next alder person. I'm a practicing attorney, also a local minister. I am capable as an attorney and compassionate as a minister, and look forward to combining those skills and leading the 5th Ward forward together. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today. All right, so y'all know I'm gonna have to. I may point. Please forgive me. My mom is gonna whoop me for pointing, but only because my list is a little mixed up, and so I got a lot of names here. Again, I want to do some very quick housekeeping questions. These will require a yes or no response. If we go beyond yes or no, then I will interrupt the question. Yes or no? Very quickly, housekeeping questions. We're gonna start on this end, and we'll just go straight down the line. Then I'll come back this way. All right. On this end, I'm sorry. Tell me your name one more time.
Marlene Fisher.
Marlene Fisher. Do you support monetary reparations for the descendants of slavery? Yes or no?
I do.
Yes.
State your name.
Wallace E. Good Jr. Yes.
All right. Can you help him with? I need y'all to do a little collaboration for me. Both of y'all are in the middle, so y'all can share. Go ahead.
All right, Joshua Gray. That is a yes.
Okay. Ms. Hone.
Martina Hone, yes, and I worked on federal legislation to do it.
Uh-oh. Look at that. Look at that stretch to yes. Go ahead.
Chris Levy, yes.
Gabriel Piemonte, and you know I do.
Renita Q. Ward, yes.
Desmond Yancey, yes.
All right. Desmond, hold the mic. We're going to start with you. Do you support aldermanic prerogative?
Yes.
Renita Ward, yes.
Yes, but.
Okay.
Chris Levy, yes.
Tina Hone, yes, but.
Joshua Gray, yes.
Wallace Good, yes.
Marlene Fisher, yes.
Do you have school-age children?
Marlene Fisher, no.
I have 5 kids and 5 grandkids, but no school-age kids.
Okay, that works.
I definitely do have 4.
Been busy. Yes, ma'am.
No, but I was an 8th grade teacher.
Okay.
Chris Levy, yes.
Okay.
Gabriel Piemonte, grandchildren, yes.
Okay.
Renita Ward, 1 adult child.
Desmond Yancey, yes.
Start right there. Rent or own?
Rent, yes. Desmond Yancey.
Renita Ward, own.
Gabriel Piemonte, rent.
Chris Levy, own.
Tina Hone, own.
Joshua Gray, currently renting.
Wallace Good, own.
Marlene Fisher, own.
Okay. Simple answer. How long have you lived in the 5th Ward?
Since 1998. I lived in South Shore first, and I moved to Greater Grand Crossing in 2009, and I've lived there for the last 13 years.
Okay.
My family has lived in the 5th Ward for 60 years.
I lived in the 5th Ward my whole life. I think I've went to school at St. Thomas the Apostle in Hyde Park, and then Kenwood. I'm a Bronco. Kenwood High School.
Go ahead, I'm just playing.
Born in Hyde Park, baptized at St. Thomas. Parents couldn't afford the tuition. Grew up at Roseland, came back to Hyde Park 7 years ago.
Okay, you squeezed another long one in there on me. Go ahead. Yeah, that's why it's okay. I'm okay. I think y'all are doing fine. It's okay.
Chris Levy, this is the 14th year.
Okay. Gabe?
24 years. Hyde Park first. I'll be in Woodlawn, 65th and Stony, 12 years this May 1st.
Okay.
I am originally a Georgia peach. I have been in Chicago 15 years and in Hyde Park 8.
Desmond Yancey, lived on the east side my whole life, lived in the 5th Ward from 03 to 08, and then moved back again in 18.
Okay. All right. I'm going to start with Mr. Good, and then we're going to go this way, and then we'll end with you. I'm going to, 30 seconds on the clock. I'm going to ask you each, yes, Mr. Good, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's all good.
I like how you did that. We're gonna move. We're gonna go. And actually, I'm gonna try and give everybody an opportunity to start a question. So I'll just move this way, and then we'll come back. Okay? And it'll just essentially go in a clockwise manner. Mr. Good, I'm going to ask you to give me 30 seconds. I want you to brag on the 5th Ward for 30 seconds.
The 5th Ward is probably the most incredible site in Chicago because of our lakefront, because of our diversity from Kenwood all the way south to Grand Crossing and South Shore. The university brings an incredible richness to the table. The business community, we learn a lot from what we do in Hyde Park. As the head of the Hyde Park Chamber of Commerce, we learn a lot of what we can do in Woodlawn with the Affordable Act that's going on there, and we learn a lot what the community needs in Grand Crossing and South Shore. So I would brag on the 5th Ward by saying that we are at the forefront.
Thank you. Mr. Gray?
So I'm a 10-year South Shore resident, so I'm going to start with South Shore. Amazing place, tons of potential. Most of the 5th Ward is by the lake. We go as far as almost South Chicago, Cottage Grove, which is Grand Crossing. We have great potential in the areas that have been, not serviced as well. Hyde Park is awesome. We now have downtown Hyde Park. That's a new thing. We didn't have downtown Hyde Park when I was a kid, but I welcome it. They have tons of businesses in Hyde Park, great people, diverse, different incomes throughout the ward, and great potential. There we go. It's my time.
All right. Look, you was like, please let that clock stop. Miss Hone.
Did everything good. I can't follow good.
And let me say this. Do not feel if you don't need to use the whole 30 seconds, you're more than welcome to tap out at whatever point you need to. All right, Miss Hone, you ready? All right, 30 seconds. Give me a 30-second brag on the 5th Ward.
Hyde Park is the 5th Ward is a microcosm of the city. It is the resilience of South Shore and Grand Crossing, the opportunities of Hyde Park, the potential of South Shore and Woodlawn and Grand Crossing. It's the beauty of South Shore, it's the beauty of the lake, it's the beauty of it's everything that is the potential of this city is wrapped up in the 5th Ward.
Okay.
Chris Levy. The 5th Ward is, in my opinion, the most desirable place in the state to live. It has the most beautiful lakefront. Our beachfront structures are larger than that of the North Shore. The people are awesome. You have a wide variety of homes. They're the most diverse place. And on 55th and Everett, you do have Levy Allstate for all of your insurance needs. In terms of getting elsewhere in the city, it is most accessible to most expressways. Any and everything about it, I love it.
All right. Let's start with you, Gabe. Oh, hold on. All right, go ahead.
All right. So, I love some of the things that people have talked about, but what I love the most are the people in the 5th Ward. So I want to start with the organizers, the people who fight. And it is incredible to me the things that people have to put up with in a ward with so much wealth and poverty next to each other. You got a lot of rich people trying to exploit people with fewer resources. It's amazing how how much ingenuity is used and to kind of push them back. Also, the architecture is incredible. The environment is the healthiest environment on the south side of Chicago thanks to our parks.
All right. Thank you, Gabe. Ms. Ward.
The 5th Ward is the gleaming light of the South Side. It is rich in history. We have the remains of some of our great stalwarts like Ida B. Wells, Jesse Owens. We have the Emmett Till Honorary Memorial Drive at 71st. We have the Science and Industry Museum, the University of Chicago, the forthcoming Obama Library. We have a diverse range of people, even in the African-American community, from working class to professionals. 5th Ward is a gem.
Mr. Yancey.
Desmond Yancey. I think it's the people and its place in black history, from folks like the late Ramsey Lewis, Reverend Jackson, the Nation of Islam, to beacon of black excellence and black prosperity. We're minutes away from downtown, and then there's even the Jackson Park Yacht Club, which has its own place in black history. So it is just steeped in blackness, and that's what I appreciate most about Fifth Ward.
All right. Look, right there we are going to take them. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't. All right. Go ahead.
Marlene Fisher,
Yes,
and I
ma'am.
moved over to 67th and South Shore in 1998. And what I liked about it, I love the people. I love the community. I used to walk to Dominic's. The area was very walkable. I moved to 70th and Oglesby. I lived over there for the next 7 years. I had a very great experience living in South Shore. The Fifth Ward is full of opportunity and is full of black people who want better and who will work to do better. And I'm the candidate to help them.
All right, y'all. That is the introductions. I want to thank you all for that round. We're going to take a quick break. We got to pay some bills. Reese, make sure you get the commercials. I want to remind you all it's not too late to place an ad on the Maze Jackson Show. Let me back up, though. We're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we are going to mix it up. We're going to get into some of the questions. I mean, I've been getting emails. I've been having a whole bunch of different questions. So we're going to put it all out here today. Hopefully, we'll get to the bottom of some of the questions that people have. Again, stay tuned. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man, DJ Riis, the ruler. Hey, y'all, we got some people in the building. Why don't y'all make some noise real quick so the people know we in the building. All right, y'all. This is the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after these messages.
The Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break. Maze Jackson.
Tune in to the Maze Jackson Show every day, Monday through Friday from 6 to 9 a.m., where you can catch us on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook Live. Plus, from 6:30 to 8, you can get us on WBGX 1570 AM. That's right, it's the Maze Jackson Show, where every single day we ask the question, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them, Maze said. We out of here. Peace.
Why not Willie Wilson for mayor of Chicago? The criminals won't like Willie Wilson in the mayor's office. Fighting crime is Willie Wilson's first priority. Willie Wilson is ready to take on the criminals. Finally, Chicago, do it right. Willie Wilson for mayor.
My name is Chris Levy, and I'm working hard to become your next Fifth Ward Alderman. As a lifelong Chicagoan, I chose the historic Fifth Ward as my home and a place to raise my family. This means I have a vested interest in our safety and prosperity. But we need a change, and I'm the best candidate for the job. I'm not a career politician, but a motivated citizen who cares and will do whatever it takes to restore our community to greatness. My name is Chris Levy, and I want to drive change. Please punch 60 and vote for me for Fifth Ward Alderman. My name is Chris Levy, and I approve this message.
I'm so glad that the Lord, He keeps on blessing. Y'all, I must say, every day, He's making a way. Ooh, keep on blessing me. Blessed in the city, blessed in the field, even when you come and go. I'm so glad that the Lord keeps on blessing me. Y'all, I must say, in spite of, He just keep on. Yeah, keep on blessing me. Oh, keep on blessing me, blessing me, blessing me. In spite of me, He keeps on blessing me, blessing me. I don't deserve it. He keeps on blessing me, blessing me. All the time, He keeps on blessing me, blessing me. Lord, we need you. Lord, we need you. Lord, we need you. Can't make it unless you you to stop it. Come on and stop it. Do it every day, every hour. Come on and do it. Do it for us now. Somebody in a hospital, somebody down, don't feel too well, but bless us now. In the name of Jesus. Oh, please keep on blessing. That's what Grandmama said. Please. Oh, please. Yeah. Oh, please. Yeah. Keep on blessing. Keep on blessing me. While I'm driving the car. While I'm sweeping the floor, while I'm cooking dinner, taking the kids to school, walking down the street, walking through the grocery store. Keep on blessing me. Anywhere that I stand, anywhere that I stand, keep on blessing me. In the name of Jesus, thou son of David, keep on blessing me. Have mercy, oh God. Please don't ever stop. Please don't ever stop. When I'm disobedient, please don't ever stop. When I go against your will, please don't ever stop. When I turn away side, please don't ever stop. Oh, please. Lord, please. Lord, please. Please don't ever stop. Please don't ever stop.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Hey, y'all in the building, make some noise if you back in the building with me. Anybody in the building? All right. All right, we are broadcasting live. This is the last chance candidate debate for the 5th Ward. Look, y'all, it is. We got all the candidates except for one in the building. This is the last chance to get the answers to questions that. Oh, I'm missing 3. How many am I missing? Get me right. Oh, well, wait, if they wasn't here, though, check it out. If they didn't make it, then we ain't got to talk about them, right? No need to make that. Everybody got an invitation. Everybody was welcome. The doors of the church was open. So let me just tell y'all, I am grateful that you all took the time out. One of the things that we feel like that has happened in this cycle, and I have watched you all. First of all, I've watched you all in a variety of debates. But candidate forums. This is not a candidate forum. This is a debate. So if you get name checked, you do have the opportunity to respond or speak back. Now, again, I want to keep it all respectful, but we want to make sure black folks got the questions that they want to get answered out. I am going to start really quickly, well, not really quickly, with a question from a 5th Ward resident. And actually, I'm going to ask everybody, give me 15 seconds. I'm going to so Josh, we'll start with you, and we'll come back. 15 seconds. You got my clock ready? All right. The Obama Center has increased real estate speculation in the 5th Ward. What is your plan to stabilize the market and stem the gentrification of vulnerable parts of the ward? That goes from our dear friend, Lori K. Westerfield. Joshua Gray, we'll start with you. 15 seconds.
We have to start with keeping gentrification from happening. We have to cap the amount of the increase that landlords can actually do, increase on rent. We have to get rid of predatory fees. We have to give better notice to renters and make sure that owners.
Period.
Yeah, period. There we go.
You. All right, Ms. Hone, we'll go to you next.
We have to enforce the Woodlawn Housing Ordinance and try to expand it, and we have to adopt the principles captured in the South Shore CBA.
Okay, all right. Mr. Christopher Levy.
Chris Levy. First, we need to nix the golf course. Doesn't serve the people. Next, we need to place rent protections, property tax protections. We need to limit outside developers, tax them when they come in, and mandate that 5th Ward residents be owners, and if not capable, help them become owners.
Mr. Piamonte.
First, we need an eviction moratorium in the 5th Ward. We probably need one across the city. Second, we have to prosecute the criminal behavior of bad landlords. We want to fight crime. Let's include all the criminals. I'd say we also have to demand real diversity in the workforce in the Obama Center. It is not anywhere near the numbers they're claiming in terms of local folks hired and working there.
Ms. Ward?
One of our coalitions with Dixon Romero has popularized the term Obama yes, displacement no. I think that captures it in a nutshell. I think I agree with many of the tactics, eviction moratorium, rent control, and even some tax rebates.
Mr. Yancey.
Desmond Yancey, I agree with supporting the Obama CBA in South Shore, enforcing it in Woodlawn, also having protections for property owners and increasing support for condo owners so that they can upgrade their property without being burdened.
All right. Ms. Fisher.
Forgivable loans for condo owners and homeowners. I'm not in favor of rent control. I'm in favor of not importing poverty into South Shore because we still have to have a thriving community. So we have to be careful about when we start to say, okay, thank you.
Okay, interesting. We're going to have to come back to that. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Mr. Good. I got to get that right. I need like on the NFL, I need like a little marker above the people so it can say next. Okay, Mr. Good.
Just look at our face when you skip us. We go.
Right. Trust me, I don't think nobody's going to let me get skipped. Okay, go ahead.
Taking up my 5 seconds.
No. Start his clock right. Give him 30 seconds. 15. Oh, I say 15.
Damn, Maze, thank you.
See, 15. Look, we got a lot of questions.
They know what I'm going to say. Bottom line, I believe this is the best think tank I've seen in the Fifth Ward, sitting right up here. And this group needs to get together the first week that I'm the alderman and develop the strategies that we are going to employ collectively. I don't have them.
I love your confidence. Did I get you, Josh? You started with it, right? All right. Okay. 800-pound gorilla in the room. Yesterday, I posted on my Facebook that we were going to be doing the Fifth Ward Last Chance candidate debate. And someone posted an ad on my page. You can go to my Facebook page. And it said, we may all be rivals, but we agree on one thing. Excuse me, I have terrible eyesight. It says, voters in the Fifth Ward have seen enough of Chicago-style politics and backroom deals. The political machine and special interests are trying to install Desmond Yancey as alderman. Here are the facts about Yancey, the machine, and the candidate in progressive costume. I'm going to skip all of the bullet points. This election season, you may have many Fifth Ward Aldermanic candidates to choose from who live in the ward. Don't let special interests and political operatives install Desmond Yancey. Instead, choose independent politics. Choose a long-standing community member. Choose anybody but Yancey. Gabriel P. I can't see all the names that have signed on to this, but it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candidates. Mr. Yancey, I would like to ask you to respond to the anybody but Yancey campaign, and why is it that they feel as though you are not a resident of the ward?
Yeah, it's is there a clock on this?
I will actually because is everybody we'll give you I'll give you 45 seconds.
All right, sure. Why are people saying I'm not a resident of South Shore? Because I'm the leading candidate in the race right now. And, there's proof. The allegations were disproven in the Hyde Park Herald. They took this so-called facts to the Sun-Times and also to the Southside Weekly, who all agreed that this was not true. We actually got the documents that were presented at that time. And I don't know if they're threatened by me or what. I'm just trying to run a race. Trying to win big for the ward.
Okay. Candidates, so of the 5 people that have signed, 6 people that have signed on to this article, and you all took out a full-page ad, is that correct? Okay. Help me understand. Okay, I'll start with you, Ms. Fisher.
I don't care where Desmond lives. The thing about it, as a black man advocating for black people, how come you don't vote? And voting is indicative of where you live. I've lived in South Shore from 98 to 2009. I voted. Check my website. It has a link for Desmond Yancey, and you can see right there when Desmond voted. He has conflicting stories of when he voted, and that's all I care about. I could care less where you live, Desmond. But I know one thing, you didn't vote in the ward. and I'm standing on it.
Okay, so Mr. Yancey, I'm gonna give you the opportunity. Is there anybody else that would like to speak on that? I'll give you Mr. Good, and then I'll give you Chris, and then what we'll do is we'll combine them all, and then I'll give you and Ms. Hone, I'll give you the opportunity as well, and then we'll give. Huh? Oh, so okay, so here's the look. Let me back up. Okay, hold on. So you can talk on. You can use the mic, and let me just say, we can mix it all up, and this is part of the conversation. What we like to do is I'll just go down the line. Mr. Good, you had comments on the ad. Anybody but Desmond? Why?
Anybody but Desmond. Several reasons. I trust the people who did the research, and the research I think is solid. You can argue against it all you want, but I think the research is solid. 2, the lead candidate is another example of George Santos-style politics. He is not the lead candidate. He is the lead fundraiser. That's the kind of conversation he has already.
Okay. Mr. Levy?
What's the time on this?
You have 15 seconds.
Okay, cool. Someone who's been in the ward since 18 should have presented an ID, a utility bill. He petitioned someone, objected to someone's petition. He gave a South Island address less than 1 year ago. So that's all I'm saying.
Okay, Ms. Home.
Tina, you didn't want to be a part of the ad. You didn't want to put your name on it. Go, Gabe. Go, it's Gabe.
Hold on,
no.
wait.
She didn't want to put her
Did
name
you ask
on
the
it.
speaker? Hold on. Hey. My debate.
No, I did not.
Did you ask? I don't think you asked to speak, right? And so what? So Gabe didn't ask to speak. Ms. Ward didn't ask to speak. Ms. Hone asked for the last one, and then we're going to give Mr. Yancey the opportunity to respond. And I thought that it made sense to get all of them out so we don't have to keep going back and forth and you have to address any one individual. You can get them all, get the answer, and I'll give you enough time to respond. Ms. Hone.
I don't do attack ads, but that doesn't mean I don't think there's a problem. And Desmond actually admitted in an article that he wasn't registered in the ward, yet he voted in South Holland. The other thing that's important is it's less about residency and more about being installed by special interests. Over $150,000 from unions, that changes who you are as a candidate.
Thank you.
Very quick. I know.
Give him a mic.
I just want to affirm that I'm not backing off of anything. I don't feel like I need to repeat what people have already said.
Okay. And that now, Mr. Yancey, I would like to give you the opportunity to respond to everybody at once. And I'll give him 1 minute because there was a lot of comments. And if you feel like you need a little bit more, just give me the sign and I'll make sure you're okay.
Yeah, I feel like if this was a legit concern, then all 10 candidates would have signed on to it. The 2 that are lawyers stayed far away from this ad, as you can see. And hold.
Wait.
You gonna let me
come
talk?
back.
All right.
Give him his time.
And so, so someone talked about trusting the research, right? Saying that I live in South Holland. But a realtor and a researcher couldn't find my quitclaim deed that I signed in 2018 where I gave ownership of the house to my wife. And they couldn't find the divorce decree where it's reaffirmed. These are public documents available at the county website. Secondly,
please let him finish.
Secondly, I presented the stuff that you need to get a license, not just the license. And so tax returns for 3 years, 19, 20, 21, parking ticket in front of my house, check stubs, 50th birthday card from my mother. Like, what are we talking about? Okay. What are we talking about here? Thirdly, fundraising, right? So installed by special interests. Look, I sat at the CFL table, Chicago Federation of Labor table, with Chris Levy. Hold on. With Chris Levy and with Tina Hone. We all went for the same endorsements. I got them. They didn't. I spent 15 years working with SEIU.
Wait. Stop. And then on this note, and then I'm going to let him close, and then I'll let you all have the opportunity to rebut. Go ahead.
Right. It's not special interest. It wasn't special interest when they tried to get Leslie Harrison's endorsement, and it wasn't special interest when they tried to get the same labor endorsements that I got. It's only special interest because I got the endorsements and they didn't. This is sour grapes more than anything.
Okay. Now I'm going to come back. Ms. Ward, I saw that you were trying to respond, and then I'll come back this way. If anybody else would like to respond, I'm coming back this way. We're coming back all this way. Chris, relax. Relax.
His whole life he's been like
I understand, but relax. Everybody is going to get a moment, right? Ms. Ward.
Thank you, Mace. I did not sign on to the ad because I believe the people of Chicago in the 5th Ward are smart enough to do their research and they deserve a choice. I'm asking to be their first choice and to serve as their alderperson, and that's why I have put out a positive platform describing why I am capable and able and compassionate to serve as the next 5th Ward alderman. They can look into each and every candidate, and my desire is to be your first choice. Punch 51.
Okay, 30 seconds.
Couple things I want to say for the record. Exactly, of course, what Renita does not lie. So what you said is true. And Tina hasn't lied, but she was waffling back and forth about being on this ad. I mean, she in the end pulled out, but she really wanted to be on it. And that's an important distinction. Renita from the beginning did not engage around this thing. I think it's good for people to build around consensus, even candidates competing against each other, if they see something they're worried about, to say something. So I appreciate that we were able to do that. And that, I think, should be a sign of, a positive kind of campaigning you don't always see.
Thank you. Mr. Levy, hold on, reset his clock, because he over here about to pop a, he gonna pop a vein.
I don't need that long.
Give him 30 seconds. Go ahead.
Again, I'm just looking at the facts. Less than a year ago, the Board of Elections received a petition request less than a year ago from Mr. Yancey. The address that Mr. Yancey gave was South Holland to the Board of Elections. So that is official. If you've been in the ward since 2018, that begs the question, why would you do that? So, again, that is my primary objection. And no, I didn't call Leslie Hairston. Leslie Hairston called the Highlands for me. Thank you. Oh.
Hold it. Anybody else coming back this way? Okay, Ms. Home.
I believe in positive campaigning, but I also believe it's important for voters to be informed. The issue of special interest money, we did all apply, but the only money that Desmond has, he may have a few little shekels now from somewhere else, are from the unions. It is going to interfere with your independence. So I would be glad to have AFSCME's endorsement and its money, but it will not be my only money. And that changes, again, your independence. That's what's relevant.
Thank you. Do I have anybody else? All right, Ms. Fisher.
I want to be real quick. So we are black people and we vote, right? So my issue from the start is if you weren't here and longtime South Shore residents in the 2000s, how come you didn't vote? He said he didn't vote in 2020 because he was homeschooling his kid. What black man is not going to take advantage of not voting for Trump? Hey, so, and you also, listen, it's all good because we go look at everybody's record. Everybody's looked at mine. You can say whatever you want. But guess what? Marlene Fisher votes.
So, Desmond, I'm going to give you an opportunity to close, and then I'm going to stop and end this topic. But I do have a question, only because in this same race, someone else was removed because of residency. So if that was the case, why was Mr. Yancey not removed based on residency? And was that a challenge that someone made or did not make? Did he beat the challenge? How did it happen? And if we can, okay, so Ms. Fisher, you just finished talking. Oh, you did? Okay, go ahead.
Be quick. I was challenged, and I don't have money to challenge. Chris Levy and Yancey challenged Adrian, who was kicked off the ballot. So if Chris could answer, and then Yancey could answer why he dropped his petition. I'm here for the facts, everyone.
Mr. Levy, and then Mr. Yancey, you will get you will have opportunity to put a ball on this.
Sure. I
give him 30 seconds.
Sure. I did challenge the candidate who's not here. Had I seen a South Holland address presented by the Board of Elections, I most certainly would have challenged. However, I assumed that our Board of Elections committee did their thorough investigation of these candidates. The address was listed, was definitely of the 5th Ward. However, as we saw, public voting record submitted by Mr. Yancey less than a year ago said a different address, a different city.
So I just want to point out for the listening audience, right? Just for the listening audience. That's not necessarily the job of the Board of Elections to challenge or to research every candidate. that is part of the responsibility of, at least from my understanding, the candidates. I'm going to put a bow on this. Hold on, Mr. Yancey. Wait, let's back up. Go ahead, Ms. Hone. I'll give you 15 seconds. And then Yancey, I'll give you. Mr. Yancey.
For the voters to know that Desmond actually challenged Adrian Irmer and withdrew his challenge, and that leads one to believe that there could have been some quid pro quo because Adrian could have learned about the fact that he lived in South Holland, and they were like, détente.
That's a big job. That's a big job. All right, let me give you, Mr. Yancey, the last opportunity to close, and then we're going to put a bow on this topic. And we won't put a bow on it because I don't know if it's going to be a bow, but we are going to stop. We're going to move on to some other topics that are that are important in the Fifth Ward. Thank you, sir. Go ahead. You have 1 minute.
One, I'm a South Shore resident. I've lived in my current place since 2018. Why are we? This is the most immature group of folks I've worked.
You have 1 minute.
Whew, man. All right. So I've been a South Shore resident most recently since 2018. Moved in after a divorce. We went into COVID, right? DMVs were closed in the black community for almost 2 years. In fact, here we go.
Chris. Mr. Levy.
Hey, I got an ID too.
Mr. Levy.
I don't understand
Mr.
what
Levy.
this is.
Go ahead. Focus, man.
All right, I'm going to focus. Look, it's not my fault these folks didn't do what they consider their due diligence. The research that they trust didn't bring up publicly available documents. I have a copy of my voting record from 2010 to 2020 in South Holland. You can't say I don't vote. That's ridiculous. And when it comes to the Adrian Irmer challenge, I dropped my challenge because Chris already had a pending challenge. There was no need for me to challenge Adrian. I considered Adrian a colleague until this race, and apparently that wasn't the case. You can go to her Facebook page where she has where she's got a post where she blames me for losing her challenge when I dropped my challenge. Adrian never had a hearing on my challenge. However, I find it interesting that Chris challenged Marlene, and now they're friends in this. This is utterly ridiculous, and I think it's important. For the voters to keep it focused on the stuff that is important and not this frivolous stuff.
Thank you. We're gonna move on from this topic. Okay, we're gonna move on.
Issue during COVID, Tina. Witness 516.
I got one.
Don't bring me in this.
Okay, so let me say this. Let me say that this, for the residents and for the people that are listening, this is a real issue, right? I'm not going to minimize the issue, but what I want to do is make sure that we give people the most opportunity to share their ideas. Now, if I were all of you all, let me say, if I'm not going to make any campaign recommendations, what I would say, though, is that I think that there are a lot of issues that impact the Fifth Ward. And one of the things I would like to do is I'm going to start with Mr. Gray. Mr. Gray, let's start with what area of the Fifth Ward do you live in? And then what I'd like you to do is to tell me an issue outside of the community in the Fifth Ward that you live in that you want to tackle.
All right. So I'm a longtime resident of South Shore by way of the Jackson Park Highlands. What was the second half of the question?
Now tell me an area that you, outside of the area that you live in, that has an issue you want to tackle as alderman.
All right. So I think I've door knocked almost every neighborhood in the ward. I would like to focus a lot more on Grand Crossing. They call it Pocket Town. I'm not sure if any of my other opponents have been there, but every other house in Grand Crossing and Pocket Town is boarded up, right? They complain a lot about not having a grocery store in the area, and a lot of them are going to the gas station up the street. The closest grocery store is Aldi's, and that's for people that don't drive. They need a grocery store. I think the area needs a lot of focus. I think because it's in the back end of the ward, it doesn't get that. So
thank you, Mr. Gray. Ms. Fisher, I saw you moving around a little bit over there. Did you have something you wanted to? Would you like to respond to the question?
Josh doesn't live in the ward. He used to live in the ward, and he can run because he previously did. And I just sent out a mailer because I live in Grand Crossing. None of these people have set foot in Grand Crossing in 13 years. I just sent out a mailer because my neighbors and I want a grocery store. Now Josh talking about a grocery store. Come with your own ideas, please. That's it, okay? And also, Chris challenged me. Why? Because I'm a better candidate.
Oh.
And I'm just letting y'all know. We not friends today, but I've been knowing him since the 90s, okay? And I'm going to be him.
Okay. Well, that sounds a little personal. Mr. Levy, she name-checked you.
Well, she name-checked me first. Though,
yeah. Okay. I'm sorry, Josh. Go ahead. She name-checked you. Now, look, guys, let me just say this, and I want to be clear. You got a pretty significant audience, right? I would not argue. I would suggest that as much opportunity as you have to share the great parts of what you're going to be able to do. And I never got back to my other question. Well, I asked you to brag on brag on the Fifth Ward. But I would encourage you all, and as much as I like the mix-up, and it's great for ratings, I do also want to make sure that you have the opportunity to address some real significant issues in that space. So what I did want to know, so you're from Grand Crossing, but you didn't tell me what you wanted to fix outside of Grand Crossing, but I'm going to pause because you used your 30. I'm going to give Josh 10. Then we're going to give Chris 10 because they both got name checked. Then we're going to come back to the question, and we're going to ask it of someone else. All right, so Josh, I'll give you 10 seconds to rebut.
Yeah, I think Ms. Fisher can't tell you because her own neighborhood doesn't know her. She hasn't been around. That's not her idea. That's not even my idea. It's from an idea I had from that I gained from knocking on doors in her neighborhood. And so I said it in one of the past forums, and she took it and ran with it. I'm talking to the people. She's not. And, if I don't really do attack, that's why I've kind of set back. I'm running a campaign, and I understand that everything goes with it.
That was 10 seconds. That was way more than 10 seconds.
Way much like 30 seconds. Okay, all right.
No, 10 seconds to rebut. 10 seconds. 10 seconds.
10 seconds, okay.
I'm sorry. Chris, go.
I echo what Josh says, and I am a Christian man, and whether these people are my friends or not, I'm their friends, including everyone up here at the table. It's nothing personal.
All right. Mr. Piemonte.
I want to acknowledge Cecilia Butler in the house. We have $4 million of loanable assets next door thanks to Cecilia Butler, so I want to recognize she just came in. 71st Street. I live in Woodlawn, but I have a redevelopment plan for 71st Street. Did you just give me 10 seconds?
No, how many did you give him? Oh, you got 20 more.
Could I have a little more time? Thank you. I have a multi-phase plan for 71st Street that involves bringing a development corporation into the community, building institutions, including this credit union, bringing it to 71st Street, and a health center desperately needed, building jobs. I have a plan that brings 64 jobs, $4.5 million.
Thank you.
Period.
All right. This question is going to go to Ms. Hone. This question is going to go to Ms. Ward. And this question is going to go to Mr. Good. All right, Ms. Hone, we're going to start with you. They got R. I'm going to change this to is. Okay. What is the most pressing issue facing black people in Chicago from your perspective, and how will electing you impact that issue?
Economic disenfranchisement. All other ills in our community fall from that. Until black men have jobs and are able to support their families and be able to build, that's the cornerstone of community. We don't have a social safety net for African American men, and then we wonder why crime is there. Economic disenfranchisement.
Keep going. Take your time. So let me back up. I have not been giving you have 30 seconds on this question. You'll all have 30 seconds on this question. I apologize. Zaviola, I'm moving up and down just based on the length of the question, so remind me if I'll just tell you in the beginning. But this is a 30-second for everybody. I'm going to add 20 seconds to your clock. Go now.
Every ill in our community is because of the economic disenfranchisement, and that is one of my terms. It is very intentional, the systemic racism that prevented our community from building wealth. There was a federal law to help with voting disenfranchisement. There was not appropriate federal law to help remedy economic disenfranchisement. It's one of the reasons I support reparations.
Okay. We are going to go to Ms. Ward, and then you, Mr. Good.
going to respond based off of what I've heard people say and what the polls have said. People want to feel safer. I believe safety is an issue. It's multifaceted. It does have the economic component there. It also has the mental health component there. I believe in treatment, not trauma. We have seen in our communities as a result of the mental health clinics closing that instead of getting responders who can treat mental health crisis, we have police officers who are in some cases escalating to the point of death of people. So I believe safety is the number one issue.
Thank you. And Mr. Good. Riis.
Right, stop the clock. That's all right. I think we're always caught into having to choose between what we want to do, work for our kids or work for our families. The reality of it is all of those issues are critical and must be addressed simultaneously. We can't move ahead if we don't improve the education of our children. We can't move ahead unless we come up with alternatives for the streets for our kids. And we can't go ahead unless we go gangbusters on gun smugglers, go assault on assault weapons. Which one is the most important? Tell and ask the parent in South Shore, Grand Crossing, Kenwood.
All right. This question is going to go to Mr. Yancey, Mr. Piemonte, Mr. Gray, and Ms. Fisher. Yes, ma'am.
So we spent a lot of time debating and being able to go back and forth on the issue of Desmond's residency.
Mm-hmm.
But now we're talking about real issues. And so it's so easy for folks to do sound bites, right? This is actually an opportunity for us to have a rich conversation. And so, like, I would like to be able to respond to
give me a sign
on some of the substance that gets discussed. Okay.
So
here's my sign.
Okay, so I saw you on that one, and I will make sure that I take that in. And guys, if you excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, if there is something that is there to rebut or something that you feel like you'd like to engage on, I'm okay with that. Ms. Hone, I will take that into consideration, and I'll give you an opportunity to engage, even though you were not called in, not called out specifically. But if there is something, and again. This is a competition of ideas. So as long as if there's something that you feel like there's something you have passion about, please reach out. Please just let me go. Go ahead, Ms. Hone.
So I've been working 30 years trying to level the playing field for the black community. And again, schools need to be fixed, wealth gap, health gap, all those things need to be fixed. But what we have to start doing is looking at what is the core, what is the seminal issue, and all things go back to economic disenfranchisement. We wouldn't have crime if our people didn't have to resort to crime because there is no other opportunity. And that's not an exaggeration. There are a lack of real opportunities for jobs and wealth building in the black community. And again, every ill that we are experiencing traces back to that.
Oh, thank you. So here's the deal. We'll give them, if they're interjecting on a subject, you'll give them 15 additional seconds. All right? Ms. Ward, go ahead.
You know, I just want to say real quickly that experience does not mean effectiveness. It doesn't mean that you're going to be able to get the job done. I will say that the people of Chicago, I was endorsed by the Chicago Tribune. If you read the newspaper, it says that 60% of the residents across the city have said that safety is their issue. I believe that people don't want political drama, and they don't want their politicians or their leaders telling them what their issues are. The people have said that they want to fix safety. And so whatever the issue is, whether it's economic, whether it's youth, whether it's education, you attack that by addressing what people have told you they want you to respond to. And we must make the city streets of Chicago safer, and that includes the Fifth Ward. I am committed to safety because that is what the people have said that they want fixed.
So I'm gonna just jump in on that, on the safety thing. The question on safety oftentimes revolves around police, right? And when we talk about police and we talk about police and their interaction specifically in our community and how it resonates with us, we are in a conundrum, right? We want more police because we want to be safe in our neighborhoods, but oftentimes we're attacked. So I think I hear everybody talking public safety. But I guess my question is, how do you achieve that and manage the relationship of the black community specifically with Chicago Police Department?
Mays, you hit on something important.
I'll want give you 30 seconds to
come and my kid is having a crisis. I want you to come and help me calm the child down. I don't want my child to end up dead on the floor. And that's why when I responded the first time, I brought up treatment, not trauma. And I brought up the response efforts of mental health professionals if there's a mental health crisis, even if the police are called. And that has been presented to the city council, and that has also been presented by the people of Chicago. So I believe that's one type of response that will get us closer to safer streets.
15 seconds. I'm going to give each one of you 15 seconds. We're going to start with Chris. Then we're going to go to Desmond. Then we're going to go to Gabe. And then we'll come back to Tina. Then I'm going to stop this one.
Before I start.
Go ahead.
If we're going in order, and that you just noted with 15 seconds, let's keep to the plan versus the interjections so someone can get in 35 seconds for whatever. That's the schedule.
Go ahead.
All right. Now,
start his clock.
First,
take 5 seconds from it.
I don't believe African-American men are the problem, as I heard earlier. The problem has affected African-American men. Make no mistake. The biggest thing we can do in terms of safety, jobs, tourism, education, we need money and jobs. That is the problem in our communities, money and jobs or lack thereof.
Okay. Desmond?
Yes, since 2016, I worked on issues related to police accountability and also gun violence. My work with GAPA, Grassroots Alliance for Police Accountability, created a community oversight body for the Chicago Police Department and the district councils that people are being elected to now. The body is led by a black man from back of the yards and has a degree from Howard. It is explicit.
Stop you right there. Gabe, I'm going to come back to you because you said some names that make me have some questions. Go ahead.
All right. I'm going to be quick, and I'm going to give you a chance too, Desmond. I'm going to say first, end qualified immunity. Cops have to be responsible when they abuse black folks. Everyone, but we're talking specifically about our community. Second, GAPA eliminated the ability to elect the civilian council that oversees the recent reforms that have been made, which would have allowed the superintendent to be fired as well.
Thank you.
I want Desmond to respond to that.
Thank you. Ms. Holm?
In my case, experience does translate into effectiveness. I've been talking to people for 30 years. This isn't made up, what I believe. Everything that people are saying comes back to root causes of violence. I agree. Black men aren't the problem. Problems have been imposed on black men.
Oh. I know I lean to the right. Did I miss anybody over here? All right. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody over here. Now, look, let me go. I'm going to do another question from a Fifth Ward resident, right? We're going to ask this. Didn't I name the people I was going to ask this question to? Y'all threw me off. All right, so let me back up. I'm going to start on this side this time because I keep coming this way. This is going to be a 30-second answer, right? I'm going to come to Ms. Fisher, Josh, and I'll give you Desmond because you've been getting beat up just a little bit, right? I know you've been punched up a little bit, but I do have some questions about some of the people and some of the alliances that you got. So I'm gonna come back to that because I'm often curious about progressives and kind of how they interact with us. All right, so Fifth Ward resident. Recent ISB, that's the Illinois State Board of Education data, has noted that 50-plus schools in Chicago where no students are proficient in reading or math. In some instances, we are graduating functionally illiterate students. What is your plan to improve outcomes at neighborhood schools in the Fifth Ward?
Marlene Fisher here. My mother is a single parent. We had 6 kids. Everything starts at home, education first. I have to be honest, we have to send a product to school that's willing and wanting to learn. We need more parental involvement. There are schools that there are not enough students because the public safety issue. People are moving away from Chicago. Everybody's scared to live in these neighborhoods. So we got to improve public safety. We got these parents. You got to be accountable.
Thank you. Mr. Gray?
So I have 13 years in experience in the educational field. The issue is a lot bigger than people think. I've just visited a elementary school in the ward that remain nameless, that hasn't had, the first grades has had no teacher all year, right? This is not a one-off problem. We have, our schools are not fully staffed. We have their peers that are dying on an alarming rate, and there's no school counselors and
what you gonna
counselors.
Do? So let me say this. So here's the challenge, right, in these questions. I already asked the question, right? And this is not a diss. I need to know the answer.
Okay.
Right? That you used it, but I need you all to think about really providing an answer to the question. Because I know, like, there's a lot of disinvestment. I think what black folks know in the city of Chicago is we have not gotten our fair share. Hence, what's in it for the black people first, etc. What I would like to get from this interaction today is how will you, I talk about the problems every day, right? So when I talk to the people that I am trying to get answers from, because these people are going to be making an election and they're going to be basing. This is your opportunity to share answers. Who did I say I was doing on this side? Desmond, please respond to the question. School data says that 50%, at least 50% of our schools do not have kids that are reading at level and are functionally illiterate. Talk to me about what would you do as alderman to solve that?
Yeah, I'll stop the proliferation of charter schools, which actually take talent out of our neighborhood schools and eliminate peer-to-peer learning so kids don't get to learn from other kids. I also think we should support community-based organizations who are already doing the work so that they can scale up and have more impact in our schools. And then we've got a bunch of black college students here in Chicago. Those students can be mentoring, tutoring, training kids, not just on education stuff, but life skills and other development opportunities. So I think it's digging deep in our community and paying attention to the resources that we have.
So I got it. Hold it. Give me a second. So I got to ask a question on that. And I'll come back and we can come back. You know what, Regina, what I'm going to need you to start doing is give me a speakers list. Because I got a speakers list coming back the other way. So one of the challenges, and I'm going to just throw this out because I noticed that one of the things that we talk often about is charter schools and their negative impacts and kind of all of that. And that sounds great as a talking point. But why should black children have less options? So I had a house in Beverly at one point. I don't have it anymore, but that's another story. But that house in Beverly had a public school, and then there were freaking 10 parishes around there. All the black kids went to the public school. They either went to Sutherland or there was 2 schools that they went to that perform excellent in the neighborhood. Still not the same as the Catholic schools. And then the rest of the people in the neighborhood sent their kids to private schools. Why is it that why do you seek to limit the choices of black children for educational opportunities? Should not parents be able to decide what is the best option for their child, whether it's charter, whether it's public? And I was under the impression that charter schools are public schools. And then Catholic schools, et cetera. And why is it different for black kids than white kids?
This is for me?
Yes.
All right, my issue with charter schools is that when you take the resources, and I'm talking about the intellectual capital, when we take the best kids out of our neighborhood schools and then put them in charter schools, it brings down the test scores for our neighborhood.
So what's the difference between that? And I just got to get into this just a little bit. So deal with me for a second because I think you'd be the expert in this space. So what is the difference between that and all of our parents? I fought to get my kid into Skinner, right? And so it's either I want to get my kid into Skinner, and what you find is that black parents are fighting because they don't have a neighborhood option, right? They're doing everything, driving their kids, getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning, driving from the far south side to get to the north side to get their kids an option. It seems like it's the same competition that's happening. It's just who is actually getting the resources per se.
Well, it's a little bit different because when we look at what happens in charter schools, you've got zero tolerance when it comes to, infractions in the school. And so those kids end up getting kicked out. And it becomes an issue of shuffling the deck to maintain high scores. And it doesn't really have an educational benefit. I'm a kid who went to Polk Classical and grew up in the 8th Ward. I'm familiar with going to schools that are competitive. I'm not saying we don't continue that. I'm saying we don't suck resources, our talented kids out of neighborhood schools, and then send them to charter schools that penalize them in a lot of cases for being black.
So I'm going to move from this and I'll give it to the peoples. The interesting thing that I find is that even for people who want school equality, they then put their children in the best public schools, right? So like I've heard some mayoral candidates talk about public schools and making sure that their kids are in public schools, but they don't necessarily put their kid in their neighborhood school and make and raise it up. And who wants to be the person that's going to sacrifice their child for the greater good if we're not performing? I'm going to stop because I got a whole bunch on that. I'm going to now. I saw that the things went this way. I know I've given you an opportunity, so I'm going to start with you, Mr. Good, then I'll come back to you. Ms. Hone, I'm going to come back to you because you got something on. Josh, so let's do this. Let's start this way. I'll just come back this way, all right? I'll just come back this way, and then it'll end with you, okay? So, Mr. Good, give me 10 seconds. 10 seconds.
I like how you identify where your neighborhood was surrounded by the Catholic schools. Holy Cross, St. Cyril, and St. Clair, my elementary school, were the feeder schools. They were all black Catholic schools. So the bottom of all...
Finish your sentence.
They were all black Catholic schools that were feeder to all the high schools that were in the area.
Thank you. Josh. Mr. Gray, I'm sorry.
So I think this is where the special interest money is coming to play, right? I think that's a talking point to one of his funders. I think schools aren't the issue because, as you said, we want competitive schools. All right.
Thank you. Ms. Home?
We have to recognize that the way the school system runs, city council doesn't have authority over them. This is why it's important to have experience and know how things work. We need to make sure that CPS, through relationships, gives appropriate money to close the African-American male achievement gap.
Thank you.
Which is staggering.
Thank you. Chris?
All right. It's not anything to do with African American. This is a money issue. If there's $4.4 billion spent in education in this city, 30% of that should go to the South and West Sides. And then the schools will be brought up to whatever the other schools are.
Thank you. Mr. Piemonte?
First, you're right, Mays, we got to keep all the good iterations of every model, whether it's homeschools or charter schools. Second, this is why we need local reparative justice solutions, because there is quantifiable harm happening because of disproportionate funding.
Thank you.
Okay, I worked at Hirsch, I worked at Perspectives. The parents are shopping for the better school. That's why they're going to this charter school. So parents, your kid wasn't performing at this school, and then you think the behavior is going to change at another school. The parents, come on, that's what's going to get us ahead.
Thank you. So look, man, this has been spirited. Goodness gracious. I must tell you guys, I am grateful for it. Hold on. Did I miss somebody? Oh, Ms. Ward, go ahead.
Renita Ward, I just want to say, I want to highlight the point that we are charged with working with CPS as your council representative. We're also charged with working with our local educators and principals. It's not a blame the parent game. It is about us working together.
Thank you. This is what we're going to do. We are going to take a break right this second. I got to pay some bills. I'm going to give everybody an opportunity to take a moment of personal space, get you some coffee. We're going to ask a couple questions. But you know what, before I go, because I think I can get this one in before we go, right? Before we go, very quickly, if we can get in elected school board, yes or no, just yes or no. I'll start on this end. Let me back up. Here we go. I'm gonna make it a little hotter, spicy. We're going to make it a little spicy. Should undocumented immigrants and migrants have the right to vote in local school board elections? We have an election process. There's a Senate bill right now in Springfield that will allow undocumented immigrants and migrants the right to vote in our municipal election for local school council. Not local school council. They're already available to do that. To be on the school board that is the elected school board for the city of Chicago. Do you support the right of undocumented immigrants and or migrants and or any iteration, because they get caught up in all of for the opportunity to vote in those elections? Should they have their right to vote?
So they currently can't work, so they're undocumented, came to America, now they get to vote. No.
Okay.
Once they pass the 30-day timeline for them to get acclimated, yes.
Okay.
only in the case if their child goes to that school. In no other case, not a residency, not a teacher, anything else. Only if their kid goes to that school.
So let me just for some clarification.
Yeah.
School board is citywide. It is citywide. It is a citywide election. Should they have the right to vote in the citywide election for a school board? That is an official elected position. Yes or no? Not local school council.
Okay, school board. So no.
Okay, Ms. Home.
I am not anti-immigrant and not anti-undocumented, but the right to vote is a right of citizenship. And so in the municipal election, I think you need to be a citizen. But for LSCs where it's your child in that school, I think parents ought to be able to have a voice in that school.
Okay, Mr. Levy?
Chris Levy, absolutely not. Hell no.
Oh, well, goodness. Mr. Piamonte, tell us how you feel, sir.
Do I support their right to vote in the election? As alderman, I do not. What do I think personally? That's different, but I know the community doesn't want it, and that's where you start. You start with what the people want. And I mean, shoot, if you're on social media, you know what 5 thinks about this.
Okay. Did you say 5?
5th Ward.
Oh, okay. All right.
Renita Ward, 5th Ward. I say no, but I do believe in some type of local education, but voting for citywide, no.
Mr. Yancey.
Yeah, I think this is one thing I'm in agreement with Tina Hone on. It's no. And I want to add the caveat. There are a lot of ways for people to affect their government. They don't always have to just do it by voting. There are committees and other ways to be active.
Okay. Look, y'all, we're going to take a quick break. Let me say this. First of all, I must commend you all, right, for an outstanding conversation. I appreciate the competition of ideas, the ability to talk about issues that impact black folks and black people. I'm on the south side, so I said black folks. When I'm out west, I say black people. But that's a whole nother story. Anyway, I want to thank you all for this. We still got another round. Plus, I want to make sure that you have an opportunity to give your closing arguments to our audience. But right now, we're going to take a quick break. And then after we get back, we'll be back after these messages. This is the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back. It is approximately 8:28 right now. See, I see you. All right, we'll be back after these messages. DJ Riis will take us out.
The Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break.
Elect Willie Wilson for mayor of Chicago. Crime is out of control. Parents are frightened for their children. Downtown and our neighborhoods are at risk. Even gas stations are targets. We will fight back to protect our community. Elect Willie Wilson for mayor.
Maze Jackson.
Caller, you on the Maze Jackson Show? What's up?
Hi, this is Katie. How are you?
Hey! Okay, hold on. I'm going to make an official nomination right now that we make Katie the new president of the phone club. Riis, can I get a second from you, man?
I second it.
All right, it's been moved and properly seconded. Everybody tuned in on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. If you vote that Katie should be the new president of the phone club, please signify by saying aye. The ayes have it. Congratulations, you are now the new president of the phone club. Katie from Ashburn.
We did it. We did it. You're going to be the next president.
How you doing, boss lady?
Thank you. Fine. Thank you. I accept that nomination. Thank you.
All right. You got drafted.
Maze Jackson.
It's the Maze Jackson Show, where every single day we ask the question, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them. Maze said, we out of here. Peace.
My name is Chris Levy, and I'm working hard to become your next 5th Ward Alderman. As a lifelong Chicagoan, I chose the historic 5th Ward as my home and a place to raise my family. This means I have a vested interest in our safety and prosperity. But we need a change, and I'm the best candidate for the job. I'm not a career politician, but a motivated citizen who cares and will do whatever it takes to restore our community to greatness. My name is Chris Levy, and I want to drive change. Please punch 60 and vote for me for 5th Ward Alderman. My name is Chris Levy, and I approve this message.
It's just
Today, the Biden administration is releasing what it calls a new strategy to fight domestic terrorism. Following a 100-day review, federal officials are now laying out a new plan hoping to deter, detect, and prosecute domestic terror.
They went to the Capitol waving their flags and looking for smoke. He was out there looking for justice. They was over there looking for votes. Ashley Babbitt was with him and told all the people that nothing could stop us. She climbed through that Capitol window, breaching security, and called a shot, bro. The media say she a veteran. They paint the picture to make her look greater. But she disrespected the same country that she served. That makes her a traitor. They was fighting police, resisting arrest. On God, I couldn't believe it. I guess blue lives only tend to really matter when it's convenient. Hey, these are the times we witness in history. All because they didn't get a victory. United States is so contradictory. We get equal rights, that's a mystery. Politicians, they more like magicians. You know they got tricks up their sleeve. We point out the flaws that's up in this country. You know they gon' tell us to leave. Somebody try to help me understand it. Always seems like a double standard. They be out here leaving us empty-handed. To certain rights we are not granted. The media's the culprit when it comes to the comparison. Cause when it comes to race, they always changing up the narrative. It's terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. And that's on the real. You know and we know. I say it's terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. And that's on the real. You know and we know. I say it's terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. And that's on the real. You know and we know. I say it's terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. We still out here trying to get our reparations, but the government pump faking out here hesitating. I'm out here trying to keep my peace, so I keep meditating. The media make us look bad, they taint our reputation. Look, it's so sad that COVID causing toe tags. You claim you so patriotic, but you ain't wearing no mask. You out here wildin' with your MAGA flags and showing your ass. You wanna be part of some type of revolution so bad. Look, you talk revolution and constitutional rights, homie. I guess we forgot about back in the days when all of the business was whites only. Yeah. George Floyd got justice. Juneteenth got much respect. They made it a national holiday. Man, it's all good, but cut the check. They're giving out all of these vaccines, putting it in you like caffeine. Was it all in the part of the plan? I bet money like DraftKings. It's land of the free, home of the brave. 1776, we wasn't free till 1865, so we wasn't part of that shit. And that there is terrorism.
Terrorism. Yeah.
Ruthie Mo.
Terrorism.
Riis the ruler. Maze Jackson. This is the reparations interlude. We not asking, we demanding. So go on, make my payments high. Tell the government to cut them reparations, make them high. Not no SBA loans, just run the bread, make it high. Tell the government to cut them reparations, make them high. Look, and check it out. First drug lord was President Nixon. Oval Office was the trap house where he was tipping. Got the drugs from Nicaragua and gave us crack. Declared war on blacks. Man, tell him to cut the check and tried to make it seem like a revolution. CIA was the corner boys for distribution. We could tear this country in half for retribution. But I'd rather get some restitution, so tell him to cut the check. John Singleton, man, he already told y'all. He broke it down for you when he made Snowfall. They locked us all up and created whole laws. So send a message like a cold call. Tell them to cut the check. Look, we built this city. We built this city. Put this country together and gave him hella aid. Lot of blood, sweat, and tears. Over 400 years. Been punching the clock, but yeah, we still ain't got paid. Look, they paying the immigrants. They paid the Jews. Executive orders, man, they made the rules. I want my 40 acres, you can save the mule. Cause as of right now, we getting played for the fool. Look, for sterilization, Tuskegee experiment, Rosewood, Japanese internment. Come on. Was all paid out from the government. We waiting on our turn, we definitely earned it. So make my payment high. Tell the government to cut them reparations, make them high. Not no SBA loans, just run the bread, make it high. Tell the government to cut them reparations, make them high. Not no stimulus checks, just run the bread, make it high. Yeah, Ruthie Mo, Riis the ruler, Maze Jackson. This is the reparations interlude. We not asking, we demanding.
Back to the Mays Jackson Show. You are listening to the most dangerous show. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Mays Jackson. Mays Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For Ruthie Moore, for Ty Stroger, I am the host of the Mays Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them Mays said, Mayor Lightfoot, man, we ain't accepting that. We ain't accepting that. Let's go.
Yeah. Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case. He was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you could put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gon' sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to send it. We need some different players in the game to handle business. Too many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA get spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steal on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Let us give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And I'm concealed carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks.
Wake up, Chicago! Yeah! All right. We in the building. That's right. We doing our thing. Look, like, you know, like I'm gonna be like Arsenio one day. Y'all gonna be like, woo, woo, woo. Oh, y'all don't even remember Arsenio. I'm too old. I'm dating myself. You know, I always wanted to have the Arsenio Mays show one of these days. And so let me tell y'all, if you are just tuning in and you don't know what's going on, you turning on the screen, you're looking around, you're saying, who are all of those people in the studio? This is the last chance debate. Debate for Aldermanic candidates. We are in the process of talking to the candidates of the 5th ward. We have not approximately, it's 8. I could count, right? You got to guess. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 candidates in the building. And they have been here. First of all, I want to give them a big round of applause for showing up at the What's in It for the Black People Last Chance debate. Want to send a big shout out to our sponsors, What's in It for the Black People Media, What's in It for the Black People, the Political Action Committee, as well as Black People First. Got to say what's up to my beautiful and lovely wife who is in the building, President of the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District, President Carrie K. Steele. We got candidate for 20th Ward, Alderman Andre Smith in the building. Y'all know we got Miss Cecilia Butler from Washington Park. She ready to get the questions on going. Now, I got my whole Wiftable family in the building, plus I got my man DJ Riis to rule on the 1s and 2s. All right. Now, let me tell you, man, being the moderator is it's a little interesting position to be in. Because everybody, you know so many people and you got all types of questions and you just want to see everybody do well. Then it'd be the people that you ever watch an NBA game and somebody is always talking to the refs, right? Like, ref, you saw this? Did you see? Man, ref, you just keep. And then in the fourth quarter, it come around on you, right? The ref, you been in his ear the whole game, and then the fourth quarter come and the ref be like, foul! And you be like, that wasn't a foul, ref. You be like, but he done got it in his head. So that is your boy Gabe Piemonte up here. So while y'all was out going to get coffee and mixing it up and going to the bathroom, he said, hey, Maze, I got a question you should ask. He said, they all here, but who actually took the time to fill out the What's in It for the Black People questionnaire? Right? So this is really interesting. He put you in a conundrum, right? Because now you're in a conundrum because then I said, we asked that question. Give me the list. But instead of me reading the list, we're going to make this the first question of the second half of this component. So we are going to start with Desmond Yancey. Mr. Yancey, this question is to everybody. I just need a yes or a no. Yes or a no. Yes or no. Did you fill out the What's in It for the Black People candidate survey? Yes or no? Riis, you sabotaging him? Go ahead.
Desmond Yancey, yes.
Miss Ward.
Renita Ward, yes.
Hold on. Yes. Check there. We need a fact check. All right, we gonna get a fact checker. Miss Ward says yes. You're not on my list, but I'm gonna leave you be. My fact checker's gonna come back. We gonna need a verification email. Mr. Piemonte.
Yes.
Mr. Levy.
I'm not sure. I'd like to defer to the fact checkers to let me know.
It be your own people, Riis. It be your own people.
I don't want to tell a lot of the public that I fill it out. If I didn't, I did.
Well, you're not currently on the list. How was you a member of What's in It for the Black People media family, and you ain't fill out? I'm gonna let it be.
Appreciate it.
We're gonna give you a pass on that. Now we don't give you a pass. Be to see you, Miss Home.
Yes.
You keep on sneaking up on me. Joshua Gray. Mr. Gray, did you fill out the questionnaire, sir?
What did you mean by that?
I will talk about it. Go ahead.
I filled out a lot of questions I do not remember, so I would like to
hey, y'all, I think Josh has gotten political. He been on the road. Mr. Good, did you fill out the questionnaire?
More specifically than Josh, I filled out 17. I don't know if that was one of the 17 I filled out.
Aha, it was not. All right, and Ms. Fisher.
I don't remember, but if I did not fill out the questionnaire, charge it to my head and not to my heart.
Oh, look at that. That's the Jesus
response. I remember the first question from the questionnaire.
Maze. Hold on. So wait. As the I'm gonna come back to you, and I'm gonna give the inspirers of the question because you all inspire. Let's back up. Membership has its privileges. So if you filled out the questionnaire, and I have 3 names on my list, I will give you all a minute to speak on it, right? First of all, I will start with Ms. Hone. What made you decide to fill out the What's in It for what made it important for you to fill it out?
In growing up, being the child of an African-American woman, I've spent, and seeing the differences between the black community and the white community because I'm biracial, I have always cared about making sure that African-Americans got their fair share of whatever is being distributed in this world. And so when I saw What's in It for Black People, I knew that was going to be a questionnaire I answered. And I remember the first question.
What was it? Just let me hear it real quick.
It asked, what have you done for black people? Because I had a long list of things that I have been doing for black people.
And so you're going to save that for your close, okay? Mr. Piemonte, what made... Speaking of you, Mr. Piemonte.
Yeah, here we go.
Real talk, man. Right?
Good morning, Maze.
Good morning, Mr. Piemonte.
All right.
What made you fill out the What's in It for the Black People questionnaire?
You know, Maze, my campaign's hashtags are Gabe for 5 and Freedmen first. I believe that the only way you can develop real policy in the 5th Ward is to recognize it's 58% black and proceed accordingly. And I've got a bunch of people on Facebook and other friends who said, you better fill out this What's in it for the Black People questionnaire. So even if I didn't want to, I didn't have a choice. It's on my website, by the way. People can see my responses.
Thank you. So just so we're clear, you can't get the What's in it for the Black People endorsement without filling out the questionnaire, right? So I don't want nobody calling me. I don't want nobody being upset with me because you limited my choices or limited the choices of the organization, right? So if you can't remember, right, what Jesus say about if I can't find you, I can't. What did he say? You don't remember me? I'm a preacher's son.
Me, I'm not gonna remember you.
There's something in my Father's house. There are many mansions.
But Maze, if you say,
hold on, Miss, did you fill out the?
Well, if I
we gotta get a verification.
If
you don't get to talk. You gotta get a verification.
I want to say, Maze, I want to show the first example that if I'm wrong as your leader, I'm woman enough to say I'm incorrect and correct that. So if it's not completed, I will definitely complete What's in it for the Black people. And pardon me for misspeaking.
Okay, you just took a whole. So Mr. Yancey, Mr. Yancey, what made you, Mr. Yancey? What made you fill out? What made you feel it was important to fill out the What's in it for the Black people candidate questionnaire?
I've been Black for 51 years, mostly in this city, and organizing on the East Side, and so. Watching what is going on with Black people in the city, looking at a power vacuum and Black elites who are kind of keeping us out of space and stopping us from moving forward, I felt it was important to fill out the survey.
All right. Thank you very much. So y'all know the political committee is over here, right? So they got a list of who filled it out. You see that big old, see that thing she got right there?
I just checked my email. I did fill it out.
You did?
Yes. It said I already responded, but I thank you.
Okay, so then I'm going to give you a minute. You better find it. Somebody find that for me. Miss Fisher, you got 1 minute. You get 1 minute. Look.
No, you can't do it that fast.
It's a thoughtful questionnaire. You had to do some thinking. You ain't just putting it in unless you do like the line. It ain't no Scantron test. Go ahead.
Okay, so I filled out the questionnaire because, we like to say we don't see color first, but I'm Black. I'm for Black people. I love living around Black people. I advocate for Black people. I'm present for Black people. So I filled out the questionnaire because I'm going to advocate. I'm going to give funds for Black people, but I need Black people to vote. In Hyde Park, they're voting at 70% in the precincts. In the Black ward, we're at 40%. I can't help you if you don't vote. Thank you.
All right. Can I just real quick? Go ahead, Gabe. I'm gonna give you this. This is your white skin. This is your one white skin privilege card.
Okay, I just wanted to say real quick, it's not too late. This is a questionnaire, right? On the one hand, maybe to try to get an endorsement, but it's also a really good set of questions for people to understand what you're about. Also, Marlene, Hyde Park's majority Black. I don't think people, are aware of that, 52%. So it's not like white people are voting if Black folks aren't. That's
okay.
I never said the racial mix-up. I said
that was your framing,
community.
Wasn't it?
The community cares more in Hyde Park, so it's demonstrated by their
not true.
voting.
That's not true.
And I'm putting everybody to task in the Black community. If you care, you're going to vote.
I'm saying
that's not what the mayor said.
Hey, that is.
I'm sorry. Let me stop.
Y'all turn my mic on. Hey, that's just Gabe. That is my position, and you can say what
but
you
you're
want.
saying the Black
and you
community,
got
like
a little
Hyde Park's
twang
not part
in your
of it.
voice. You're not the voice of Black people.
I'm
Black
not saying
people
I
are their
am.
own
Neither
voice.
are you. That's right.
Okay, done. Exchange finished. All right. So, question from a Fifth Ward resident. Okay. Last summer near 70th and Merrill, there was a shootout at approximately 1 a.m. I have an Airbnb on 67th and Clyde, and a bullet came through the bathroom window and landed next to the bed where the guest was sleeping. Oh, this sounds like a Brandon Johnson commercial. Needless to say, I lost business. After this mayhem, why weren't police stationed on those blocks like they are on the north side and on Michigan Avenue? I am going to go to, let's do Josh. Josh. I'll do Desmond, and then I'll do Christopher Levy. All right? Josh, we'll start with you.
How much time?
We'll give you 30 seconds.
All right, starting now. So I feel the sentiments of that voter, my constituent. I think I bought some property at 70th Bennett, and I go to bed tucking in my kids every night, hearing gunshots. The simple answer is that the commander is not beholden to the alderman, and they should, right? They're beholden to the mayor, right? And so the only thing you can do as a commander, as an alderman, is call the commander or call the 3rd district. They don't have to do it. But if the alderman has something to do with hiring the commander, they'll be more present for them in doing want them to do what they want them to do.
Thank you. Let me go to Mr. Yancey.
Yeah, it's because, frankly, police resources are allocated differently in the north side than they are on the south side. The black community has more crime and has more police, so that system isn't working. I've spent 6 years working to build the Community Commission on Public Safety and Accountability so we can shift the balance of power and so that we can have community play a bigger role in the allocation of police resources so that our community is ultimately safer than it is today.
All right, Mr. Levy.
Sure. First off, sorry that happened. I'd like to say, first off, a bullet travels 1.5 miles, so we have to get rid of the need for someone to want to shoot. Glenview, Highland Park, those places aren't safe because they have X amount of police. They're safe because the residents and people who live there don't have a need to shoot or carjack you because they have money and better jobs. So, that's what we need to bring. I'd also like to bring more foot patrol and police that look like or reflect the people of the community that they live in. That's all I got. Thank you.
So are you saying white police officers for white neighborhoods, black police officers for black neighborhoods?
I would like to see that, yes.
Oh, okay. So look, y'all, we're about to run out of time. And I'm a little disappointed because we got so many candidates. But before we get out of here, I got a couple more questions I do want to get out because I think it's just important for us as a community. The first question is, or let me back up. Very quickly, 10 seconds or less, I will start with Ms. Hone. How will you involve residents in the decision-making process in the ward?
We will have an advisory council of the ward. We'll have subcommittees on special issues. I'll have, they will make reports to me before any decisions are made.
Okay. Chris, 10 seconds.
Sure. First, we'll have a public website on all the finances of the community. 2, we will have meetings for the community as well, regularly scheduled.
Thank you. Okay.
Participatory budgeting and local elected development councils.
Okay. Ms. Ward?
Advisory councils, participatory budgeting, regular community meetings.
Mr. Yancey?
Now, reimagine a precinct captain program so that it's not tied to politics, more tied to sharing information between the office and back to the community.
Okay. Ms. Fisher, Jesus, I done got everybody down except for you, Ms. Fisher. I'm gonna get it.
I agree with everybody. And just to make it quick, I agree with Renita's answer. And also, we need everybody to actually participate. I could say I'm going to have all the meetings, and I've gone to a lot of meetings with Alderman Hairston, and the community wasn't there.
Thank you.
In my first week as alderperson, I would bring together on Friday of the week the police, community organizations that have been working on this issue, and collectively, like with this cabinet, come up with the strategy. I don't know why we haven't come up with a solution yet. It's coming.
Mr. Gray.
I agree with a lot. Everybody on this panel said. My big issue is that a lot of people on this panel weren't at these meetings, are not at these meetings already. Right, they're pop-up candidates. So I haven't seen any of these people. I've been in almost every meeting and haven't seen hardly any of them at any of these meetings. Only a few of us.
Mr. Gray. So I do want to point out this, right? And this is just, again, as a former chief of staff, as somebody who spends a lot of time working with aldermen in spite of the perception. There are often a lot of meetings. There are a lot of advisory councils. As a matter of fact, most aldermen put together advisory councils to protect them for the decision-making process so that no one can say, ooh, you picked, you did this. So I just want to make sure that as you think about that, I think that probably the expanded answer of that would be how do you increase the community engagement in those spaces. Because I one of the things I think is everybody wants to reinvent the wheel, and it's not so much reinventing the wheel. It is people have not been re-engaged in the process, or the people that have been engaged stay engaged, and they're not necessarily bringing people in. I got one big question, and I'm going to tell you there's a lot more that I would have loved. I would have loved to give each one of you an opportunity to ask somebody else a question, et cetera. But I think the 800-pound gorilla, well, the other 800-pound gorilla, because y'all had one earlier, and y'all took that one and ran. And I'm gonna recognizing that we have a limited amount of time, and I want to get you all out of here because I do also want to give you all the opportunity to give a 1-minute close, right? It's your last chance to give people your pitch. You cannot talk about the Fifth Ward without talking about the University of Chicago. The outsized influence that the University of Chicago has on the 4th and the 5th, and as Ms. Butler is telling me, is now extending into the 20th Ward, et cetera. Historically, I mean, I know we have an Office of Community Engagement that does a lot of civic engagement, that does a lot of cool stuff and things, and they've kind of put a Band-Aid on that image. But I'm not exactly sure that the alignment of University of Chicago and the black community surrounding it are in line. Talk to me about how you will manage the relationship with the University of Chicago, considering their outsized influence in the ward. It seems to me everybody bows down to the University of Chicago because they're gonna wait. They Jesus Christ, they can call in a president, they can call in whoever. So talk to me about how you will operate with the University of Chicago having an outsized presence in your ward. Quite frankly, I think that the alderman has probably the least influence on what happens over there in that space because of their outsized influence. But I'll start with you, Mr. Levy, and then we'll go this way, and then we'll end with you, Ms. Hone, and then at that point we are going to go to closing arguments, at which we will start with Mr. Piemonte and come around to the back. All right. Oh, Riis, did we have a question on the phone? You guys did. You all were pretty popular. But Mr. Levy, I'll have you go ahead with your answer. How will you manage the outsized presence of the University of Chicago in your area?
Sure. The University of Chicago is obviously, as you mentioned, a powerful institution. And I think any alderman or alderperson would be, it would be in their best interest to form a really good working relationship with the University of Chicago, keeping in mind that it is okay for any business or entity to do business in our communities as long as it does not negatively impact our communities and they become a resource to the community. If those conditions are met, I think it should be a fruitful partnership.
Okay. Mr. Piemonte.
I think there's a misconception that you can negotiate with the University of Chicago like it's a person. You cannot. So I projected a certain perspective, which is you're not going to run over me. And part of that is because you don't start negotiations by saying, this is my price I'm going to actually agree to. So what I say is the first thing you do is you take away the free pass to the front of the line they have with the Department of Planning. And so now they have to go to the community and ask to get approval before they go into planning, which is what they do now.
Sound good.
So I start the relationship with the University of Chicago similar to where we are right now with the people. The power is actually in the people, and as your Fifth Ward alderperson, I am representing the people. As a graduate of the University of Chicago, I am familiar with the institution, and I believe I'm an adequate spokesperson and representative for the people of the Fifth Ward. Not only will I not be run over, I will be advocating for the residents of the Fifth Ward in that relationship.
Desmond Yancey. The University of Chicago has bullied black folks in Woodlawn for generations, and I think it's important to acknowledge that there is some power that comes with the office. There's also the power of community. So as a 20-year community organizer, it's about really digging in and making sure that the people's voice is heard and using the office with a carrot and a stick to make sure that the University of Chicago understands that as a stakeholder in the community that they have a role and a place, but it's more people. The people have the biggest role in making sure our community is strong.
That's Mr. Yancey.
I am a current University of Chicago employee, and the university has learned in my experience and is learning from the mistakes of the past. They own a lot of property, including public housing. It's staying public housing. They saved the South Side during the pandemic because none of us were laid off. They also reassigned a lot of the food service workers. So so as the next alderwoman, I'm going to work with the Office of Civic Engagement and say, like, hey, you have a bad rap. And there's nothing wrong with saying that. Let's work together.
Mr. Good?
Maze, the easy answer is I'm not amazed or dazed by the university. As a former dean there, I know who heads the Logan Center, I know who heads the Office of Civic Engagement, and I used to head the office that reached out from the university with students to the community. So the bottom line is, you talk about how to manage the relationship. Well, first you need to have a relationship. The university is not that monolithic. It is a series of individuals making decisions that they are easily managed if you know what their bottom line is. The bottom line for the university is to educate students, as they say, and if they have funds left over, they invest in the community.
Mr. Gray?
The university has been a great partner to organizations in South Shore like South Shore Works. As the next alderman, I will continue to treat them like a partner and not like a community boss, right? The loudest voice in the ward should always be the people.
Okay, Mr. Gray. All right. Ms. Holm.
So I got my bachelor's degree from the University of Chicago. First in my family to graduate from college, I decided to go forward, and I graduated Dean's List. University of Chicago can be an incredibly powerful partner. They need to know that the person on the other side of the table is not going to be outsmarted or outplayed by them. And they educated me, so they know they're not going to be outsmarted or outplayed by them. And I have been outsmarting and outplaying people across a 30-year career where people think we're dumb because we're women or we're black. And I have shown them, I have played with the white boys and beaten them many, many times.
Goodness gracious. All right. I got to insert one more question, and then I'm going to give you your close. And I'll start with Mr. Piemonte. Did I start with Chris last time, right? All right. So did I start with you last? Yeah. Right? Okay. Do you believe that there? Let's frame this differently. How do you manage 10 seconds the competition for resources between the Black and Latino community in Chicago, Illinois, if you believe that there is a competition for resources?
There is, and the answer is Fifth Ward first. What you have to do as the representative of the Fifth Ward is fight for resources for us. We've got a couple thousand registered voters who are Latino in the Fifth Ward. 58% are freedmen, Black Americans. They come first.
Okay. Ms. Ward?
Definitely representing the Fifth Ward residents first, but collaboratively and collectively. You know, we have to get to a place in modern day where we're able to get along so that we can go forward. Obviously, Black people are the majority in the ward, but we have to go along and get along to go forward together.
Desmond Yancey. Yeah, the city belongs to everybody, but as a Black person, my politics are Black identity politics, and I believe that our work is important. And on the airplane, they tell you put your own mask on before you put it on your kids.
Uh-oh. Somebody been on the moon. I'm gonna stop. That's one of my favorite statements. All right, Miss Fisher. Dang, never I'm gonna get it. Miss Fisher.
I'm advocating for the Black people in the Fifth Ward first, particularly my neighborhood first. So I don't feel like it's a competition with Hispanic people. I'm a team player, and I'm always going to work together with others.
Okay. Mr. Good.
I sat at the table more than once and watched the mayor pit communities against each other, and that's what that is. If they pit Latinos and African Americans against each other, the majority will get whatever they want, like a bean downtown. I won't let that be the fight.
Okay. Mr. Gray? So back up. Do you think there is currently a competition for resources?
I think even as you couch this kind of meeting, there's always competition, and it shouldn't be. It should be sharing rather than competing, coordinating.
Okay.
So get along or not, we need to demand stuff out of everything that they get, right? Whether it's a school, whether it's a grant money, we have a vote in the city council. We're one of 50. They need to give us something, no matter what they get. You know, and it is a battle, and we definitely are.
Thanks,
I didn't ding you guys when you guys were going.
Okay, so I'm gonna ding you. So it's not on anybody. No, I think you clearly answered it, Ms. Hone. I'll give you the close on this one.
Again, experience matters. I had to do this as chief engagement officer in the city. I actually had to figure out how to balance. The issue is that the Latino community has needs and the black community has needs, and they are separate sets of struggles. And we can meet the Latino community needs and the black community needs. They are different struggles. But what we cannot do is forget those places where there's absolutely black people are suffering the most.
Thank you very much. All right. This is the moment.
Did you go?
Oh, Chris, dang, I can't forget Chris. Look, Chris, like, hey man, look, Chris, you know, Chris been commenting on all y'all stuff the whole way through.
I'm ready to ding. That's why I brought the mic closer. I'm gonna ding him.
All right, let's get Chris Levy in here. 10 seconds, Mr. Levy.
You won't get a chance. I won't take longer than 10 seconds. First, Fifth Ward first, if you happen, and then it's in order. The marginalized in the Fifth Ward, because it is not a monolithic group. So the marginalized in the Fifth Ward first. Thank you.
Okay. The marginalized in the Fifth Ward first. All right, y'all. So let me just say this. This has been a spirited debate, wonderful engagement. It is an example of how we can operate even if we don't always agree on the same points. There is an opportunity, and we should all be in the same room and figure out a way to work together, work our way forward together. That stated, I do believe politics is a competition for resources, and I'm okay with us being warriors. Let's win, and then let's be judicious and generous in how we distribute the resources. But I do not want us to forget that there is a competition for resources. What does the question say? Who's on the line? I gotta let these people go. They looking like they got to go. They got the itch. They got plans. They got just let them answer the question. But be prepared. You might not have to answer the question. I'm gonna let the caller, because they've been on the line for 45 minutes, holding on to try and get an answer. So if you're willing to answer that question, I'm happy to give it to them because they have been waiting for 45 minutes. Caller, you're on the Maze Jackson Show. What's up? Who this and where you calling from?
Good morning, Maze. This is Cassandra J. Matz, proud active member of What's in It for the Black People First, and also an active member of BCO, Black Contractors, Owners, and Executives. To the panelists, according to what's going on with the Obama Center and all of the black contractors on the outside of the fence looking in, what would each one of you all do to ensure that there is black participation with a percentage that they can make money with?
Oh, all right. So, see, thank you for throwing up that is Cassandra J. Matz throwing one in for the black contractors. I'm going to give y'all 15 seconds. Hit it and quit it. We just going to do this simple. We're going to start with you, Miss Fisher. 15 seconds. What you going to do to make sure the black folks got real contracts at the Obama Center? Because there's some questions about that.
Just simply give it to them. Because sometimes we come to the table and we have the skills and we say we want to work, but the white supremacy changes the rules and say you have to be union, you have to be this, you have to be that. If you want black people to work, give them the opportunity.
Mr. Good, y'all roll these for me if you don't mind. Let's knock them out.
As the head of Chicago's Empowerment Zone, I managed $131 million. And when a contractor bid on any of our projects, it was real clear. You got to have this percentage or we will not hire you anywhere else in the city. It's doable. I just don't know why the current alderperson didn't make it happen.
Mr. Gray.
I think you have to be involved in every aspect of what's going on. You have to prepare those that are able to get contracts, to get them. And then you have the demand to hold them accountable, the Obama Center, to make sure that they're actually choosing those that you actually prepared for those contracts.
Ms. Holmes?
We have to stop thinking of PLA as a panacea. There are only 10% of African Americans are in construction trade unions, and PLAs actually have the effect of keeping black people out of jobs. We have to make sure that the percentages that are required for subcontracts is more robust than currently, and we have to be sure that the local requirement hurts black people.
Ding. 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 Go ahead, Mr. Levy was going to ding you, so I had to just protect
I wasn't going to ding her. I'm not Give him a bill.
I got you. Come on, Ding. Come on, Chris.
First off, we need to state our expectation of money spent with black contractors. And then if we're met with resistance, you have to leverage your other assets, your vote within the Fifth Ward against that. And finally, I'd like to see the Obama Center. I would like for them to invest in our community in terms of trade schools. Thank you.
Mr. Piemonte.
First of all, we can't look at numbers in terms of the head of the company. It's got to be the people on the ground. I live across from the Obama Center. That is a white and Latino construction site. What we have to do is be on the site to make sure that those folks are actually getting the jobs, and we have to link funding, meaning infrastructure, CDOT, et cetera, to that. I've done that in the past, and I have proven track record on it.
Thank you, Mr. Piemonte. Ms. Renita Ward.
Short and sweet, there has to be some form of agreements and checks and balances in the relationship. There has to be some numbers and some requirements to make sure that the dollars and the jobs are flowing.
Mr. Yancey.
Desmond Yancey, we have to capitalize black contractors so that they can be more competitive when it comes to white contractors. We also have to make sure there's a deeper pipeline for minorities to get involved in trade programs and apprenticeships.
All right. Now, as promised, this is the moment that you make your last pitch. I'm going to tell you, you can clip it, you can cut it, I'm going to take myself out the picture. But this is your chance to make your last public, well, I'm going to say your last public appeal because I'm sure y'all don't work right through Tuesday. But the last broadcast appeal to the residents of the Fifth Ward as to why you should be the candidate. Just because we started on this end, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to start with Mr. Yancey. I'm going to let you go, and then Ms. Fisher, you will have the last. We will ask you to keep it to a minute. I'm going to ask you to look at the clock. Please don't make me ding you because I be feeling bad. I feel terrible when I got to ding you. So when the clock says ding-a-ling-a-ling, you got to put a period on the sentence. You can put a period on the sentence. At that point, then, Riis, I might have to make you start playing some music. All right? Let me tell you all have done a great job today. You all have very well represented yourselves very well. You have represented the Fifth Ward very well. And I look forward to, I feel like regardless of who the person is, and I'm going to say I've seen a lot of qualified candidates up here, a lot of people that I never heard of, or not never heard of, but didn't know before, that I'm very impressed with. And I hope that our audience is too. So with that in mind, Mr. Yancey, we will give you the opportunity to give us a 1-minute close, a period. Please do not make me ding you. Mr. Yancey.
Hi, my name is Desmond Yancey, candidate for Fifth Ward Alderman, and I'm running for a couple reasons. One, I've spent most of my life living in communities that make up the Fifth Ward, either studying, teaching, learning, living, shopping, right? And I know that there are a lot of challenges that affect the ward, but I'm mostly concerned about Black Chicago. We've got 15 open seats in City Council right now. A lot of that is existing in black neighborhoods, and frankly, I'm concerned about our future. There's a lot going on in the city. Some of it is negatively affecting black people, and it's important that we elect leaders who are going to bring people together as we figure out how to fight against all those things. And so my career, I've done that. I spent almost 20 years as a community organizer fighting for $15 minimum wage. I think the minimum wage is too low. We deserve a $25 minimum wage so that people can actually afford to live. Secondly, my work bringing together communities around police accountability. We got 36 aldermen to vote for that ordinance because I have the capacity to bring folks together and work with people. I will center your voice in council if you vote for me. Thank you. Desmond Yancey for Fifth Ward Alderman.
All right. Ms. Ward, you're up next. Hold on. You ready, Zabiola? Go.
Renita Q. Ward asking for you to punch 51. What's in it for the black people? What's in it for Fifth Ward is what you've been asking for. You've been asking for capable and compassionate leadership that is responsible and results-oriented. As a practicing attorney, whether I was clerking over at 26 in California or now downtown actually practicing law every day, I believe in making solutions that work for those who are involved. As a minister, whether it's been serving in Parkway Gardens, at the Refuge Center for Youth, or whether it's been at the local church in peace circles, I have been focused on making compassionate decisions and compassionate results. What's in it for black people? What's in it for the Fifth Ward? Exactly what you have been asking for. Renita Q. Ward, compassionate and capable leader, ready to lead the gleaming Fifth Ward forward together. Asking for your vote, punch 51. Thank you.
Look, you didn't make me ding you. All right, you got your clock set. Mr. Piemonte, hold on, because I want to get everybody right on this last one. So be thinking. You ready, Zavio? You ready? You ready? Yeah, ready? Hold on. In 3, 2. You ready? All right, Mr. Piemonte.
Okay, the very first thing I want to say is take a note of who owes the University of Chicago something, whether it's their education or their job. My name's Gabriel Piemonte, Punch61, Gabe45.com. I'm the white candidate who has been talking about reparations from the beginning. You got to look for tangibles, and I'm going to encourage you to look at my website for those tangibles. When you talk about economics, every website, every candidate's website, look at the specifics. It's really important. I've been doing this work in the community in the 5th Ward for 24 years. If you look at my website, you're going to also see I've got people who are supporting our campaign from across the country. We have more than a dozen states represented. We have people from across the country, from across the reparations movement supporting us. Local folks, my team is reparationists who have national profiles. That's because folks believe in what we're doing. We are actually going to achieve things in the 5th Ward that put freedmen first. What's in it for the black people? If you vote for me, it'll be my ward office.
Okay. Mr. Piemonte. Next up, it is you ready? You ready? Mr. Christopher Levy. Christopher Levy.
Thank you. Chris Levy, Punch 60. I am the most qualified person of everyone sitting up here. Quite simply, I can bring the most money and opportunity to the 5th Ward, specifically for black folks. I am not a career politician as some of these people, but that means I'm not politically owned as well. I have more resources outside of politics. I'm in this race to make the playing field fair, but I have more reach in terms of whether it's media, whether it's wine and spirits industry, black folks with money and influence. I know, and they know me personally. Politically, a state rep was the first person to sit down at my table to advise me. I have congressmen's phone numbers. They have mine before I even got into politics. We don't talk about reparations because black folks know it's not a trick. If you really wanted to give me my 40 acres and a mule, it would be more than those tokens that the white guy on the stage is mentioning. So please don't try to trick my people. We need money and we need jobs. Now, the promise of reparations that he will not be able to enforce. Chris Levy, representing selflessly and earnestly for the people of the 5th Ward, Punch 60.
Miss Home. You ready?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, great. So experience matters, and the only people who say it doesn't matter are those who don't have it. Experience does translate into effectiveness. Sound bites don't translate into effectiveness. Gimmicks, slogans don't translate into effectiveness. I have a record of building programs and policies that have changed lives. Those programs and policies have been in education. They have been in workforce development. They have been in resettling refugees. We discriminated against African refugees in this country. The record is long. Federal sentencing disparities. I also want to be sure that, I don't practice law. I graduated from one of the top law schools in this country on law review. I graduated on Dean's List from UFC, but I don't owe UFC a thing. But with that law degree, I help make laws. I help change systems. I help build policies. I have spent my life building a better world. I have spent my life fighting for the African American community, and I will continue to spend my life fighting for the African American community. We cannot have a fair world unless the African American community has a just world.
All right. You got to go? Okay, go ahead. You can cut out. Next up, Mr. Joshua Gray.
All right, Joshua Gray, Punch 54. This is, as a couple of my opponents said, this is a very important election, 15 seats available. Tina's right, experience does matter, but so does history, right? Where have some of these people been? So our voters need to know they need to vote for those who have history in working for the community and loving the community. And that is something that does not come overnight or during an election. I have been working for the community. I have been working for my people in the 5th Ward. It is very well documented, and I want to work to make sure that our ward continues to be safe, continues to thrive, right? We have an opportunity here to change how our alderman perceives us. We have an opportunity to change how city council and what the mayor's office gives. So with that said, vote for Joshua Gray, Punch 54. More info about me is at jgray.info. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gray. Yes, you ready? You ready, sir?
I'm ready. My name is Wallace E. Good Jr. I'm not going to tell you who I am. Go to my website, wallacegood.com. I'm not going to tell you what I've accomplished. Go to my website, wallacegood.com. I'm going to tell you the first week in office as your new alderperson is Monday. I will invite everybody sitting up here, literally everybody sitting up here, and encourage them to be part of a cabinet that will help develop a think tank for the ward. On Tuesday, I'll reach out to Tanya of the South Shore Chamber, Byron of the Woodlawn Chamber, and Phil of the High Park Chamber, and help them set up an economic summit that would address issues like property tax, public banking, tourism, new business, South Shore Reimagined, 71st Street Reimagined. On Wednesday, I'd visit Comer, High Park, Mount Carmel, Lab School, and talk about helping those young people develop the challenges our youth face, alternatives to the streets. They've got to be involved in it. They've got to redefine it. On Thursday, healthcare. Reach out to the people running our healthcare to talk about we need affordable healthcare. Friday, law, and the weekend, talk to the ministers to say, bless us.
All right. And finally, we have Marlene Fisher. Ms. Fisher, you will be closing us out.
Thank you guys for the opportunity. I look forward to being your next alderwoman. My goal is real simple, to improve my life and the life of everybody in the ward. My goal is to bring a grocery store to Grand Crossing. My goal is to increase the safety in our neighborhoods with present police or private security so that we can feel safe going to shop in the South Shore, going to shop in Grand Crossing, going to shop in Woodlawn, because there's a safety presence already in Hyde Park. I want to bring a small business incubator to South Shore. We cannot say we want businesses and we don't even know how to run a business. Everything starts with the education. And I bought a house in Grand Crossing as a part of affordable housing. We need people who know how to develop housing, how to live in housing. My goal is to give forgivable loans to homeowners and condo owners and to help renters become homeowners. Thank you, Marlene Fisher.
Hey, y'all. You can go back on the stage because I want to make sure you get in the last closing shot. So I just didn't want you to walk across their shot. Look, y'all, you have been tuned in to the Mays Jackson Show. I'm going to, if you all do me a solid and y'all hold applause until I read all of their names, I want to make sure that I read and acknowledge everyone that was here today. Hold them till the end, and then when I do get to the end, I want y'all to give them a big, warm round of applause because I do think that everybody here today did a great job representing. Mr. Wallace E. Good, Mr. Joshua Gray, Miss Martina Tina Hone, Christopher Levy, Robert Palmer, who left, Gabriel L. Piamonte, Renita Q. Ward, Desmond C. Yancey, and Marlene Fisher. Y'all give them a big round of applause, and you all give yourselves a big round of applause for your participation today. I must tell you, this was a wily group to try and wrangle together. It was. And just to try and manage 8 to 9 people on the stage, I cannot imagine what it has been for you all to try and tromp through this process and try to get a question in and be able to have a meaningful answer, because there's so many answers that you all had that I would have loved to expound upon. The one thing I will ask you all is that at some point, one of you will be the alderman of the 5th Ward. We are a direct pipeline communication to black folks in Chicago. And I think oftentimes people look at our show and they say, oh, he's controversial, oh, he's racist, oh, he's all of these different isms and things that they like to attach as we talk about advocating for our self-interest. I am not against anybody. Let me just be 100% clear. I want to tell you all that are sitting here, I am not against any group, regardless of your precursor, whatever it is. If you are black, then you are my priority, right? Not against anyone else. So if you are LGBTQ, if you black first, you on our team. If you're trans, then you're black first, you're on our team. If you are black first, you are on our team. If you're black second, you just on the second team. No, but the reality is we have been convinced that we cannot speak on our own self-interest without being against someone. That is not this, and I would like to encourage you all to open up the lines of communication directly with the black community. So many of our elected officials have built a wall because there's rocks being thrown on both sides, right? But what we want to do is give people a fair opportunity to be heard and the opportunity to tell people what you're doing so that we're not always caught up in the misconceptions. A lot of times I found out that the people that I've been talking smack about on the radio or something like that, if you get an opportunity to have a one-on-one relationship or conversation, you realize that there's a lot more in common than you have apart. And I know it sounds cliche, but I've really come to discover that even in this last mayoral election. So with that in mind, I want to thank everybody for joining us. I want to thank everybody, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. Got to say thank you to the Saints of WBGX, you all. If you live on the south side, which this is all it, understand that that is a big chunk of our listening audience right located on 63rd in Michigan. So this show has had an extended, expansive reach. You got one of the greatest listening audiences, live audiences. Look, y'all, I don't know what everybody else told y'all, but everybody needs to get out and vote. Regardless of who you're voting for, you need to get out and vote. You need to allow your voice to be heard. Sometimes we don't like what people are saying, but sometimes we need to hear what they're saying. So regardless of what anybody told you, pick a candidate. Oftentimes you're not going to find anybody perfect, but you got to build relationships and you start to work there. So with that in mind, for Mays, Riis, for the What's in It for the Black People family, for What's in It for the Black People media, for Black People First, for all of the candidates, for everybody in our listening audience, I want to thank you all for tuning in today. Look, this is the Mays Jackson Show where every single day we ask the question, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you know what you can tell them? You can still tell them. Mays said, we out of here. Peace.
Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case. He was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you could put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gon' sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to Senate. We need some different players in the game to handle business. Too many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you